right, Aaron Peart, welcome to my show. Thanks for coming by again, man. Fucking good to see you.
Yeah. Moved up in the world from the Labatt 50s last time I was here.
I know. You gotta get.
Cheers to shout out to Kevin and Angie.
Yeah, shout out to Coast. So, Aaron, this is your second time around. You've been here, like one of my first guests, I think, early on.
Yeah, really early. Yeah.
Like I had no backdrop. We were just talking about this earlier off the show here, and like no backdrop, and just I think my phone might have been. I think I had to use my gimbal back then.
Yeah, I think you did. You had a mic or
something. There, like,
yeah,
it was just like balancing on my countertop across. We were back in the kitchen studio. Like 3 years later. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So much has happened. I don't know if you've seen the news. We had the whole pandemic and everything. Like,
dude,
the time. Like,
I know it's been so long, and so much has happened. Probably for you and I at the same time. But one thing I'm going to bring up right away is remember we killed you and we murdered you. We poisoned you.
Do you know? Spoiler, I have a girlfriend now. I love her to death. I'm going to marry her. I don't know when, but yeah, it's going great. But I told her about this thing. She said something I have to do errands, and I was like, oh my God, I have this video to show you. And she was like, what is happening? I love it so much.
Yeah, nice.
And that was about 2018 too, like 2019.
Yeah, well, for sure. Before the pandemic, I think, yeah. But I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh man, I remember like, I was laughing because I was setting up my kitchen and moving shit around. I'm like, I was thinking about the time, the last time you were here. I was like, yeah, but last time I was actually hanging out with them because I don't see you a ton. We've been friends for a long time. I don't see you much. And I was like, oh man, we poisoned that guy in his bar.
Yeah,
for that video.
Yeah, I see the Dantas brothers every so often. Yeah, just nice. In passing, kind of having a beer or whatever. But
yeah, I haven't seen them at all either. They're off teaching. But I was talking to a recruiter the other day in town. She's like, I recognize her from somewhere. We're chatting, and we've been now trying to we're in LinkedIn friend stuff. We're chatting back and forth. She goes, I recognize her somewhere. She goes, no way. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you're the guy who's killing, all the Aaron stuff on the bench. She goes, where was that bus stop? And I was like, it was the one by Tamarisk. And if anyone's not from Worcester, Tamarisk is a spot like in Worcester. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, and I was like, yeah, that bus stop. We were. One of the gags was that the bus would keep going by. We have to stop filming. That'd be one of the gags, right? Well, that bus stop had been shut down. Just don't use it anymore.
It's decommissioned, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, and the windows are smashed out, which helped us film better. But we're like, it took us 4 hours. We're like, hey, but the bus hasn't gone by yet. And people have been walking by us. We're like, why is everybody walking by? Like all the staff are walking by. We didn't really ask what was going on. Anyway, yeah. So we didn't realize that bus stop was like decommissioned for a while. But yeah, it's funny. That was a while ago, that video. Yeah, that was, it's 2018, I guess.
Yeah.
So sweet. Anyway, thanks for that.
Getting older every day, It's it's fun times, but it's. I mean, I was 22 when I moved here, and I'm definitely not 22 anymore. I don't even try backflips anymore.
22, man. Yeah, I mean, I was 24 when I came to town. It's been a long time, 20 years.
Yeah.
And then, you know this before, but you and I worked together.
But the Rendezvous.
Yeah. Not right away, though, because I worked at Glacier Creek for a little while.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know where you worked before that.
I was, that was my first job in town. It was that and...
So what year did you get here then? Oh,
2005.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that was my first year at the Rendezvous then.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was, I still see, obviously, Rhea Jones is in town. Mm-hmm. She's still kicking it and bump into her every so often. And it's weird, like, kind of getting to that point where, like I see people in my industry that they've been in town that much longer. I'm thinking like Karen Johnson, Stinky is a great example.
Yeah, Stinky's on the stroll.
These people who are just they're not like an A tier above me in that sense, but they've definitely been here that little while longer. So by virtue of that fact, and then I look at these people who have been, they decide they're going to become a bartender in town, and they find their place, and and it's that kind of it's just an ongoing It's cool, man. I've been bartending 19 years. I've been in town 17, and so I mean, apart from Rendezvous, that's pretty much been the life force here. Yeah,
well, I mean, you can make. I mean, financially, if you work at a good spot and you got a good seniority, whatever you want to call it, at the place you're working, you can get the good shifts.
Yeah,
it's a good gig. And then what you were talking about earlier about there are jobs that wear on you, and you don't think about being a bartender or something like that. And I don't think about it, even though I've done it as a bodily impact, it's hard on you. But we were talking about it on the way here. Is it's not just like you're working late nights, and like I said, the environment of just being tired and just kind of wears you out. And it's not like it's not a slow lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I mean, people around here. If you're, I don't know if you've ever done fine dining stuff. Like
I've done a little bit.
I'd be curious what that like an annual salary is of like somebody who works at a busy.
Oh, I couldn't even.
Or something.
So I do 1 day a week right now. I've actually just put my notice in the other day, but I've been working at the vodka room for about a year, since like April. And I do find, like, not to put anyone on blast, but I find that mentality, that fine dining thing has never really gelled with me. I want it to be a little more casual, which is why I like the vodka room, because it's like you're meeting people from all over the world, and you're able to, you know, have a little fun. And the way my buddy got me into it, he's like, it's the best parts of bartending. You meet people, you get them a little drunk, you kick them out, like 15, 20 minutes.
It's a 20-minute interaction, and there's no like, no, you don't say, hey, you guys got to go. It's like,
it's like you guys
5 shots.
Oftentimes, I'm just go, hey, like, you know, I'm gonna go outside because I'm cold. I've been doing this all night, but if you go take a couple more pictures while you're in here, feel free. I'll let you know if we've got another group coming in right away, and we can kind of push you, but no rush. And you know, and people are, it's always, and it's, I don't like the word gimmick. I find gimmick such a negative term, but it's such a silly experience. I would say it all the time. I was like, this is a silly, fun job.
It is though, but like you go in there and you get like 4 shots.
4 shots, yeah.
I mean, 4 shots of vodka in like 20 minutes.
Casual 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
You're walking out like,
and I heavy pour too. It's half an ounce, but I'm like, well, it's a big half an ounce. Is it still
like the ice walls and like the everything like
yeah. So
it used to be a cigar room, right?
Yeah, that's it. So when you go in, you'll see actually like there's like fire like, you know, the sprinkler systems.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And then of course they're all frozen over and stuff. It's kind of a funny one. Be like, hey guys, if there's a fire, don't worry. First, I'm wearing the black coat, so they know who to save first. Yeah. And second of all, you've got this here, so we're totally fire safe. And then you tell us about the cigar room, and but yeah, obviously it's they had to pivot, and
it's too bad there's no cigar rooms anymore.
So I moved into my place in May of 2021.
Yeah.
And there was a case of, like, not good cigars, but cigars.
Yeah.
And I also have like a sealed container, and I put a little like
a humidor thing?
Yeah, like a little damp sponge in there, and I'm like, and I keep meaning, but again, like, I'm so tired. This year, I'm bouncing all over the place.
That's okay. That's what we do here.
I keep thinking, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a cigar tonight. I'm gonna like just sit on my porch and just smoke a cigar, take 20 minutes, you know, whatever.
Forever. Yeah.
But every time, like, this is the first year that I've felt, and it might be age, but it also might be the fact that we're getting that much busier.
Yeah.
But this is the first year I'm like, I don't want to do anything after work. Like, I've lost about 20 pounds. So I stopped going to the gym from, like, let's say December 15th.
Yeah.
I just started going back this week.
Yeah.
I've lost almost 20 pounds in muscle mass.
Yeah.
Just from not working out, like sweating and not eating properly.
Yeah.
And it, like, literally was like, what, like, my girlfriend's like, what do you eat? I'm like, about 2 chicken nuggets and a slice of pizza if it's there. You know, I don't have time to stop, and
I eat too much.
Yeah. It's I miss like sitting down and cooking, and I got an air fryer for Christmas. That's a game changer.
Yeah, I haven't got one of those, but everyone talks about them. Like, I get it, but I don't understand. Like, if you have like, I'm gonna sound so fucking dumb here, but if you have like, so you take chicken fingers or chicken strips, which we had this conversation before, the chicken strips. Because chicken fingers are weird, but like you bread them and then you put them in the deep fryer. But I feel like, because it kind of sticks it all together, I feel like. But in an air fryer, it's just like convection, right? Like,
pretty much, yeah. It's basically a convection oven.
I mean, sometimes the grease is part of the flavor.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's more about,
not sometimes, all the
seasoning. Like, you have to marinate your chicken.
Right.
I mean, unless you're going like full, like, chicken, broccoli, rice 5 days a week. Like, I'm sorry, there's more to life than that.
Right.
But for me, it's more about sizing, portion control. Like, I don't want to be, I live by myself.
You weren't a fat guy. You were never a fat guy.
I've never been a fat guy. Right. In fact, like, I still see myself as a skinny kid. I know I have muscles, like my girlfriend tells me.
Yeah.
But it's more like, I don't want to cook an entire, like, beef stew for myself.
Living it by yourself,
you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's nice when I'm like, no, I'll just throw a couple chicken chicken tenders kind of thing, like, or throw chicken breast in there, and you know, have like a little bit of you know, everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's or something like that, or maybe some hot sauce, you know, just something that's like, give it a little something.
Yeah.
Smoke a little weed, everything tastes better.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, you want something like my vape if you want to smoke weed?
I don't want to be dumb on mic, because I'll just go, hey, I think I don't like talking right now. Yeah.
We should see how many topics we can cover. We've been covering so many topics. We should just see how many we can get through.
We can do it. Yeah.
Start pounding out. I don't know. I'd like to. I should. I don't know. I think I should get this, or I should get one every time somebody mentions something like new. But an air fryer, yeah. But living by yourself, yeah, I get that. I mean, I live by myself, and I don't want to make, like, you make chili or stew or something.
Yeah, and you can freeze it, but, you know, like, my other one is like, so my place, I have a surface like a stove, but no oven. But I have a convection / microwave up top. Cool. Yeah. The stove has stopped working. It still works, but it's real temperamental. And I'm like,
how do you make homemade? Can you make a Delissio or like a frozen pizza?
No, nothing like that. Yeah, I know. See, but it helps me because it makes me not buy a bunch of frozen shit and just leave it in the freezer, right? Like I regularly have like the family pack of chicken thighs or whatever, and I leave those in the freezer until I have a day off and I just prep a bunch of stuff. And
if you're disciplined for that, for sure, because I think meal prep with chicken is probably like the basic. You just marinate it and cook it, and you have
it's like it takes 20 minutes, and there it is.
Do you, when you buy groceries, like I have zero self control, so when I buy groceries, I eat all the groceries like until it's gone. I'm not like, oh, I have enough food for 7 days. I'm like, I eat it in 3 days, and I feel like a piece of shit. I'm like, you buy a box of cookies, eat them right away, and if I buy like cheese nips, which I can't control myself, I eat the box. It's gone by the time I get from the grocery store to here.
Oh wow! Okay,
pound it. So like I stopped buying. I don't buy groceries often because I can't control. I have to eat it. It's like a snowplow. You just got to get the snow out of the way, right?
Yeah. See now, okay. So I know that I have an awful sweet tooth. Like if you said like here's a pack of Oreos, the entire family pack would be gone by the end of this.
Oreos podcast. Gross, dude.
I love that shit. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's awful. And so when I go grocery shopping, my superpowers I can use within $2. I'm $100 every time I go in.
Nice.
Yeah, every time. I don't know what it is. The other thing is like because I know if I go down the cookie aisle, I'm like, well, I'll get those. I haven't had those in a while. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. I ignore those aisles.
Yeah, so I just kind of I try and be as healthy as possible, but I will spend money on like cheese.
Yeah.
Or like hummus, or like if I want, I want to get some fucking salami, and I'm gonna have and honestly, like sometimes I just have like what I had before I came like between work and here.
I'm sorry. Can you just move starting with you because we're talking to each other? But anyway, sorry everybody. We're getting
figure it out. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You know what I had for quote unquote dinner was a peanut butter and honey sandwich. And it's the last 2 pieces of bread I had because I'm just like, that's just food. It's sustenance. It's fine.
Right.
And it's bad because I do want to try and get my like my protein levels up and stuff. And I don't want to. I'm not a gym nerd. I like looking good. Like I'm 39 now. I wish I had this body 10 years ago, except I don't because I would have been an unstoppable fucking human. Like I was a bartender. Where was I at 29? God, I don't even know. But anyway,
closer again. Sorry.
I know I was what I can
theory.
Only describe as an awful human being at the time. So
yeah, but I mean,
not awful.
Cares?
Like, I was good, but
I think a lot of people, like I'm an older dude too, and I think a lot of people at our age, like if you're paying attention, like a lot of people, I have friends who are younger who work out and they're in shape the whole time, right? But I think like I've been better at it the past few years, and I think you just start to see the slowdown happen. And if you're in a town like this, you see yourself kind of take like one step behind. So like you're like, oh shit, like I need to be able to do these things because I like doing them. Whether you're doing 5 times a year or 20, whatever it is, whatever. Like, but I almost said influation, which isn't even a word. Like the influence around you makes you go, oh, I need to. Like be a bit healthier.
Yeah. I mean, we are lucky in the sense that like, I mean, especially in my world, I see people who are my age or younger and they look like shit. They're coming up from Vancouver or Ontario and they're on a conference or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll put it out in the room. Like, they're, and hey,
it sucks. Like it's not,
what? Like, hey, there's no bald shaming or anything like that. But it's like, I get you got 3 kids or whatever, but like, I mean, just don't eat dessert once in a while, like big boys, and that's fine. Again, like live your life, do your thing. There's no shame in here. But I'm very lucky. My grandfather's had this. He had this build my entire life, like his entire life. Yeah. My brother and my dad share their little stockier, but
my dad was a fat guy.
Yeah, they're not even big. They're not even fat guys. They're just like my brothers. I mean, my brothers. I think I'm doing well, and then I see him like he comes out every March, and like we saw him over summer, and he's just a unit. He's in the Air Force now. Like he's
the guy. Didn't he show? He was showing you an app or something that last time you were here. We're talking about some app that shows you all the flights take off and like
you and I talking about that. Yeah, so he was in air traffic control. He's now he's based outside of Sagamore. Actually, he's in California. We could give him a call right now, but we won't. He's outside of about 45 minutes an hour outside of Boston right now. Right. He's there for the next 2.5 years.
Wow. As a Canadian military person?
Canadian military on a U.S. base.
Oh, okay,
so he also found out he's allowed to grow a beard and the Americans aren't. So he's like, I'm growing a beard then, obviously. Like, I need you to know that I'm Canadian. But he's kind of like, he's like, I like the fact that I'm, a Canadian with a beard. It's a little more,
Well, they're busy fucking shooting down dumb weather balloons.
Oh,
and
my
he can
God.
just grow.
I know. It's like... I get why they
saw
did
the
it.
picture of the balloon. I'm like,
Yeah, it went,
I don't know shit about what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter and people are yelling at people. I like it's funny. I don't get it at all, but the balloon thing's stupid.
I got banned.
Even if it is a fucking,
I got banned from Twitter, but I got banned from Twitter for what I feel is a reasonable
it
reason.
makes me like you more.
I got banned from Twitter because I said I would hit Andrew Tate with my car.
Oh,
and
yeah, I guess
that was like 3 or 4 days before he got banned from Twitter. So I'm like, okay, so we'll call it a scratch. Like, can I come back on? Nope, permanently just.
You're permanently banned.
I'm permanently suspended. And I was like, I don't even know the levels here.
That's even after. Well, it's hate. I mean, it's fucking threatening, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's also like it's Andrew Tate. Like, come on.
yeah, what's he been doing? I mean, fucking, what's the balance of power?
Yeah,
here?
it's like he's in sex trafficking. I think I can say a little bit of a mean thing on internet.
But then they kicked you off. That's a real shame.
Yeah, but I've actually been like, I don't. No, I miss it, but I don't like. I miss being a part of the conversation, like because Twitter is just a message board.
I just
for the
observe.
world,
I just watch
right?
people go insane.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, I follow accounts that offer me no benefit to my life. Oh, I follow some. Sorry, that's not true. But I follow a lot that offer me no benefit to my life, other than holy shit. What are you talking about? Why did you say that?
Yeah. I miss the comedy, like the comedian takes. Like there's some amazing. Do you watch? Have you been watching The Last of Us?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
So that's it's a video game, but it's an HBO now.
Okay. Oh, I heard about this. I heard about it like yesterday. Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
right.
it's actually on tonight. And
okay. Oh, you gotta get out of here. You want to?
No. I got nowhere to be, man. Like I stream it anyway. I'm a pirate. I don't care.
Yeah.
But no, like everyone. I mean, the last episode. Obviously, this will be episode 3. I'm not sure when you're putting this out, but it was episode 3 was the last one that came out, and huge amount of I don't even say controversy. I mean, I cried my eyes out. It was an amazing episode.
It's like fiction. Like is it like
it's fiction? It's based on a video game. The video game got rave reviews. That was in 2013. I want to say when it came out. So
that's weird to me.
I've actually got to this point where I'm playing the game up to and including the end of the next episode. So like,
wait a second. So that okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I'll play and go, okay, well now I've caught up to, for example, like in the last of the last episode, they're on their way to Pittsburgh and they're coming from Boston. Okay. So they got a car and they're driving.
Are you going to be a spoiler alert here?
No. This isn't. There's no major spoilers or anything.
Okay, cool. I was going to say you should spoil it.
In the game, it's like kind of after a big, I guess like a yeah. Anyway, you get to Pittsburgh and things happen. But so anyway, that's like a major cutscene in the game, and I was like, okay, well that's the end of the episode. I've just seen the cutscene, and now I'm like, okay, I'll just switch it off, and then I could play it all tomorrow morning or whenever I have a chance.
This is super nerd
shit.
It's
super dorky shit, and there's also
shit.
like so. I work at the GLC. There are 5 other bartenders with me.
Probably play it.
Two others of whom are
Right.
obsessed with this show as well.
Right.
And I just found out one of our servers has also started watching it, and she's like, yeah, she doesn't have any
Yeah,
kind
but the
of
show's one thing, man. But like I play Warzone way too much. I should stop. But you're
No, there's no judgment, man.
You're lining up the. It's okay. I'm sure it's
Because-
actually. You know what? Fuck. I'll shut up. It's probably actually cool because you're lining up the game with the show. And
So the main thing is, and it's something I noticed the first episode was that they're actually like frame for framing it from the show, from the game rather. So you kind of go, you can see these like even the dialogue almost down to the timing is exact. You
No
know,
shit,
it's
eh?
why
Okay.
it's really
Right.
and so like we've heard about all these games that don't necessarily pan out as well,
Right.
As a movie or a TV, but they're really doing it well.
That's cool. I have never heard of it till like yesterday, so I'm sitting here shitting on it. But I should probably just check it out. It's on what's it on?
It's on HBO Max, but I mean, I'll send you a link.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I don't pay $30 more.
I only have
for Crave
Netflix.
or whatever.
I gotta cancel that. I pretty much just watch YouTube all day.
Yeah, it's so bad, right? I'm the same.
I mean, I watch Netflix for some things. The only movie I've ever bought on Apple iTunes is Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah,
It's the only movie, and I had to renew it today because I guess it only have it for so long. I guess.
Oh really?
I don't even know if that's right. I think I just bought it twice, but
I have Apple TV.
Yeah.
Apple TV is really underrated. There's
think
not
so.
a lot on there, but it's a lot. There's some good. What's on there is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally.
And then I also spent with Prime. I think it's like $3 extra a month for MGM, and I've gotten into my westerns recently.
Like Yellowstone and stuff like that. Or is that
So I haven't
stuff?
watched.
I have
I've watched
no
a little
clue,
bit of
dude.
Yellowstone, but it's very slow paced. I mean,
Right.
all westerns are slow paced, but like the first episode's like 2 hours.
Yeah, they're
long.
on
I'm
horses.
Like, man,
It's not going fast
it's
enough.
Kevin Costner, man. But I've actually started writing a western. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, how long it's going to last. I'm just going to write it until the story plays itself out.
Like a TV show or a movie.
A book, I think.
Okay.
A short story, something like that. I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Yeah, cool.
But it
I'm
was
a producer.
like,
I can help you.
yeah, it's been fun, man. Like it's kind of like I say, I'm not really sure. I've kind of built this little world up in the first chapter or so, or whatever I've written so far. It's about, I don't know, 5-6 pages of my chicken shit writing.
Right, yeah.
But
that's cool, man. Okay.
yeah, it's something that kind of keeps the energy flowing, and you know,
because you're a writer. Like I know you've known you always write stuff. And do you have many outlets right now? Like, are you still writing on?
I'm not writing professionally. I have my own site, but I hardly ever use that anymore.
Five Scribble or
A5 Scribbles, yeah. So I've actually I get this little pang of guilt every time I think about it, because like I haven't had anything to write about lately, or rather I haven't been near my computer.
Probably just like
yeah. So I just what was I listening to recently? Basically, it talked about how. There's this quote by this author, and he says, like, listen, as a writer, you're a shopkeeper. Right. You know, you can. So the whole premise was like, whoever they're talking to says, like, look, I can hear you banging around in your office. I know you're not writing, so I can come bother you. His wife comes in and bothers. He's like, no, this is part of it. Like, I have to listen to Warren Zevon, or I have to like throw a tennis ball against the wall, whatever it is.
Right.
And the person you're speaking to goes, listen, it's all about, you're a shopkeeper. You like when you're getting there and sweeping the floors and checking the prices, and that's not shopkeeping, but that's all the stuff you have to do. And then once you open the door, you might not have a single customer come in, but you've done all the things. All you have to do is just be there and open the door. And that's when they compare it to writing, it's like, just open your computer, like, or pick up your pad of paper and a pen and just sit there and just talk shit to yourself for a while, or put on some music. That, like, I find I work best in because I swear I'm broken. I've been doing this for so long. Like, I love working in like busy restaurants or coffee shops or whatever, because
you're probably ADD or something. You need to
that noise, it just makes my lizard brain go, you need to be productive now. Like, whatever you're doing better be towards something. And that's what I found. Like, that's a great help. Obviously, the last couple of years, not being able to go anywhere in public and sit down for a long period of time,
which is stupid. But anyway.
Oh my God, I know. But so yeah, no, it's been interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you, like, what do you, I mean, you didn't live in the Wild West. You enjoy Westerns. How do you, like, go up, like, are you like, hey, here's my storyline? Is it going to be like, because I look at Westerns and think, most Westerns are like, you're chasing a train, you're robbing somebody, you're doing something shady, you're trying to run away from somebody, you're a mercenary, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or you're like Will Smith, it's be a dumb, and you're being some kind of futuristic Western thing, which is a big bomb. But, like, how do you make that story unique or whatever? I don't know.
Well, back to video gaming. I'm obsessed. I'm still obsessed with Red Dead Redemption. I play it every so often, like on story mode, whatever. Sure, but that kind of fueled me into it, and then I've been like, I've been watching movies, and what I really like about it is the fact that there's so much. So we're flooded with dystopian futuristic stuff, right? You can make up this thing like an iPhone, except you can hologram people, or the basic example,
soon.
But there's all this sort of stuff. It's like you can imagine. Honestly, man, I'm sick and tired of our fucking phones right now. Like, to be able to, like,
I have to check mine in a minute to make sure it's still filming.
Right? Yeah. No, I've absolutely turned mine on to silent. So I'm like, I don't want this buzzing on my phone, whatever.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
But I like the fact that but I like the fact that I can talk. I like, one of my paragraphs is all about, like, this guy's pocket watch, my main character's pocket watch, and how it's got constellations on it, and sometimes he likes to look up on this guy and see if he can find, like, match them or whatever. And,
cool.
Things like, you because you don't have a radio blasting. You can just sit there, like, the first 2 pages are him just sitting on the porch, because he's basically a security guard for a hotel, and he's just noticing the things around, like, watching the cigarette smoke curl up into the air, and you can kind of get into the descriptors of that. And, like, not that. I mean, this could be a total vanity project, but some people might like to read that sort of thing. Or
people. I mean, dude, like, movies and books are just somebody's ideas they wrote down, someone's imagination. So, like, if you can imagine it, somebody else has. It has to have, right?
Yeah.
And they could just be interested in it. It's like, they're so bizarre movies, but the cool thing I think about writing that kind of stuff, it's kind of like this podcast. Is you could, like, I don't script it, but, like, you can just pick whatever you want to happen.
Yeah.
It's my story. But the motivation to me because it's like a lot of things, like, even with this podcast, like, it seems like a daunting task to get to a point where you could make it it's what you do for a living, right?
Yeah.
That's why I've got up and down with it. But as a writer, or like someone who's written, like, you can write articles about something, like interview somebody, you can get that going. There's like there's a draw and an outlet to give it to. But this is like, okay, and you need to get paid by whatever it is. But then you're like, I'm writing a book that may never, Like I've written some scripts to be like, you write a book that may never get past this page.
Yeah.
And if it does, it might not get past the next one. And if it does get to the last page, it might not leave in my computer. Like all these things, like you have to be in your head. Like you have to be like, so what? It's still what I want to write. And be creative about it.
On the other
interesting thing, man, because it's like motivation's tough.
Yeah. On the other side of that, like I just saw this last week, and it was basically, so let's imagine you're driving from L.A. to New York. Mm-hmm. You know New York's over there.
Way too long. Yeah.
But you can only drive at night.
Right.
You can only see as far as your headlights can let you see.
Right, yeah.
But you know that New York's in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the end. That's the end. Capital T, capital E. You only need to see as far as you need to see in front of you, but you're going to get there. Like if you just keep pointing east and, you're driving 8 hours a night kind of thing. Yeah. So that was like, that's a good analogy because you like, I'll just write this, go, oh, maybe it's time. Maybe I'll kind of switch over and talk about the bad guy in it, or, like maybe I'll just introduce a new character into it or something like that. Like I'd love to have a cowardly character, something like, not a comic relief character, but somebody who's like part of the gang, but then suddenly like fucks it off and doesn't want to do it. I don't really know where it's going to go, but
that's the thing is like, because not knowing where it's going to go, like I guess you didn't write like your sentence where it's like, and in the end, so and so.
Like I kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. Find out his mom's
his girlfriend or something weird like that. Stuff stupid, like it's like a weird. But if you don't have that. But the meandering idea of like just picking your choosing,
it's pretty cool to say like, let's see what let's see what I feel like this is going to happen. Like like in the first thing that happens is that he hears a noise in the back of in the yard of the hotel, and it turns out it's a buffalo calf that strayed away, and he got a bucket stuck in his head. So he has to figure out how to. It's like, well, it's 5 a.m. What do I do? I can't. It's pretty much morning. They'll be up.
Right.
But then he's like got to lead this thing off into the and it's okay. It was like, well, now what's going to happen now? And he can't afford to feed a buffalo, but like a buffalo calf. But at the same time, like
kill it and eat it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, what do we do?
Twist. Yeah.
So so it's been like a good exercise, like a kind of like this is something you've never tackled before.
Right. Do you write diaries and shit like that? Do you write like not diaries but journals?
I try and pick up. I find like writing with a pen and paper is much more creative. Typing is very binary, right? You're either pushing the button or you're not.
Yeah.
But with writing, you can just kind of, and again, like my handwriting is terrifying. I remember I had a teacher who once said, "You are either you're going to be either a doctor or a lunatic," and I was like, thank you. Yeah.
You can't be.
I'm a bartender. I'm halfway there. Yeah. I'm between the two of them.
Like the funny thing about a doctor is the problems are like inside the person's body. You have to get in there and look at it, whatever it is. But as a bartender, you're like, you got to get into their mind.
Yeah.
And like, it's almost a surgical. I'm not trying to sound like.
No, I know what you mean. It's like psychotherapy with limited pharmacy.
Like I'm tracking down to try to talk to somebody, get some counseling and stuff, because life's different and changes stuff. But a lot of people talk about bartenders being like people's therapists, or like they've seen so much that these like have these like ideas of like this wisdomful bartender who's like they give you need a shot, son. And
it's real,
but it's all movie prediction. So as we talk about like you writing a story, and then you're like, in real life you're like, how many times does somebody come and sit at a bar, and that scene in a movie becomes a reality to you? Like how often does that become a point where you're like, you think about, I don't know, I can't think of like a specific movie where there's a guy at a bar talking to the bartender, but like, how often do you think in real life that actually does, like you've been doing it? So like in your lifetime as a bartender, you've had a guy sit there, I'm like, oh dude, my wife kicked me out today, or I just ran over a dog and now I feel like shit or whatever. Like, is that like a real?
So there's one that I really like, and this happened years ago. When I worked at La Boca, we've got this. Have you been to La Boca? It's got the outdoor. In the summertime, you open up the window.
And 20 years, dude.
Yeah. And
not for like 15 years. I've been there probably.
So this guy,
fuck that place. I'm just joking.
This guy sat there, and his English wasn't great. I want to say he was French. I'm not 100%, but his English wasn't great. And
who's this? Yeah.
He I can't remember what he basically. I said like how's it going? Sort of thing. And he was like, not good. And honestly, like when people say like when someone says how's it going, you either say great or good, or like fine.
It's self-preservation.
Yeah. But this guy was like not great, and I guess like his his girlfriend back home had like said she was going to break up with him, whatever. I was like, oh man, like, and you have two options. You kind of just sit there and be like, that wasn't the question. But at the same time, it kind of was.
Like, I didn't want that answer, dude.
So
I
yeah,
gotta go down here and help these people out.
But I was at the same time, I mean, who among us haven't had our heart broken?
Yeah, sure.
So I said, you know what? I got him the big shot glass, and I pretty much filled it with Jack Daniels. I said, listen, that's on me.
Yeah.
Life sucks
get
sometimes.
blackout.
I said, like, I don't know, like my let's say French isn't as good as your English and vice versa. So like,
couldn't even.
But I know what this means. Like, that sucks, assholes. I'm very sorry. Whatever. Yeah. So about 6 months later, this is just when Facebook had started to do like the other messages, like which I didn't realize you had. So you like if someone messaged you and like you don't know them.
Oh, they go into your secrets or whatever.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't remember how I found it, but it was like anyway, this guy had found me because I said I worked at the book on my page. Yeah. And he said, hey, you probably don't remember me, but you helped me out. And basically, long story short, it says I decided I wasn't going to let that happen. I called my girl that night and said, "Hey, listen, I don't know whatever I can do better. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you."
Speak English better. I can't understand you.
Yeah. So he was like basically like, "Yeah, listen, we're going to give it another shot. I'm just going to try and be better while I'm away and stuff." Dude. And he's like, I want to say thank you because it's like I needed you to understand.
It's funny as a bartender, you couldn't even speak his language, but you knew if you gave him a big shot.
Yeah. It's like,
dude, you need one of these.
This is whiskey. I know what that does to people.
Yeah,
like,
dude, whiskey.
But that was a good one. I love having like just recently I had an engagement. Well, it was their honeymoon.
Okay.
But they were English and I saw the rock and it was big and clean and they were young and happy. Yeah. And I was like, is this a honeymoon by chance?
You got there, lady.
And so I was like, is this a honeymoon by chance? I was like, yeah, did you know? I was like, I mean, I saw the rock, but like I just said, you just seem like you're having such a good time. It's just the two of you, whatever. And she's like, so I bought them a small little bottle of Prosecco for them. I said, hey, this is on the GLC. Congratulations,
You bought it. It's on the GLC.
Yeah. So we got this.
Spillage.
And she was like, we opened it, whatever. And she was like, we've been here almost a week. That's the first time someone's recognized our honeymoon. I was like, well, I'm happy to be that guy, like I'm such a fucking romantic. It's gross. Like
you sound like you're talking about trying to become a therapist or counselor. You sound like just that kind of thing. This we got earlier, like bartenders know, having that eye for just something small like that. Even if you're wrong, like no, we're here. You knew they were only married for 2 years, even if that's the case, right? But it's funny how a bartender can provide such like solace, I guess, or if that's the wrong word, right word, I'm not sure, but like
I know what you mean.
It to a stranger who otherwise doesn't even. I think some people go in there and hope their bartender talks to them.
Yeah.
I've been to places, I travel a lot. I used to travel a lot for work and go somewhere solo. I'm like, I got no one to talk to. I'll go to. I hope there's a bar with a TV at the bar, and I'll go down and have a seat. I have no problem being alone. I'll sit at a bar by myself and black out and by myself and just hang out, do nothing. But like, some people. And I've been there. You just need someone to talk to, or not even someone to talk to. You just want to.
You need the opportunity to talk.
I hope I can just say hello and go, "What's up?" and have a quick exchange, and that's cool, right?
Yeah.
So it takes the awkwardness away of me going to the bar and sitting there and watching TV. If I can talk, hey man, when everybody comes by once in a while,
yeah,
you're kind of like a conversational referee when no one else is around.
Yeah. That's why I say like I've had some of my best first dates have been at the bar,
right?
Because if it's not going great, there's someone to kind of break the ice.
You can go to the washroom and call
yeah. So there's definitely that kind of like, listen, like this isn't like you're cool. There's nothing against it, but like romantic, there's nothing there. But at least like hopefully if the guy behind the bar knows what he's doing, he can kind of be like, you guys want some shots and kind of like chill out a little bit, whatever.
Yeah, make some bad choices.
Yeah. But no, I like that. I think there's something about like picking up on those subtleties and things that my girlfriend says like the most attractive thing about you is the fact that you have emotional intelligence. I'm like, I'm not even sure what that means, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm too dumb to know.
Yeah, it's like she's like, but you have it. I'm like, well, that's all that matters,
I think the thing like I don't even emotional intelligence. Yeah, I mean it's
just not being afraid to like knowing who you are as a person, knowing your worth, and
I get the sense of it. But it's funny. It's like I don't think I've ever met anybody who doesn't have it, and maybe it's just different variations of it. Or I'm just older and I've been inside. I don't know, but like it feels like if you as a bartender, if you didn't have it as a bartender, it would be such a vapid experience of like going to the bar. This guy's like, yeah, here you go. Like I've noticed less when the bartender's like chatty and talks to me. And I notice it more when the bartender's like, "What's up? What do you want?" And you can't even if you want to get attention to get the check, that's one thing. But like it's a bigger you notice it more when the person's just like not around. And bartender's just like throwing drinks around, not doing much. If it's not busy.
Yeah.
If it's busy, I would imagine if I was a bartender and it was busy and someone's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up! I need to get.
Yeah.
I got 8 guys behind
I
you.
have 400 things to do right now.
Yeah, you got 1 drink and you gave me fucking whatever. Get out of here." But like, you got to. There's a time where you could that guy who's like not so good, who goes, "Oh, I'm not doing great." If you had just come from the other end of the bar and someone's a fucking prick to you, you walk down and go, "Yep, cool, yep, here, take it," and you walk back. I mean, you got to fucking jump between emotions, probably.
Yeah. It's a lot of
basis.
empathy and stuff, especially like with the more extreme cases.
Yeah.
But
I think bartenders get the chance to be a dickhead when they need to be, and it makes me laugh because I think that kind of shit's funny. Especially with rich people. You make rich people mad if they're dicks to you, and I mean,
my rule is I don't swear until they swear first.
Sure,
yeah, like that's
you will, you know
yeah. I really like. It's knowing little subtleties.
Sure.
Like knowing that. I mean, most people will drink a pint of beer or a sleeve of beer in about 15 to 20 minutes. I have a couple regulars that are faster. Shout out Dave Thwaite. What's up, buddy?
Drunk right now.
And he drinks lager like it's water. And I'm like, oh, man, like, because he doesn't come in every day. But when he does, I'm like, I gotta get on my shit, man. Like, because it's like, I'm super aware. Okay, like they're probably getting low because I haven't seen them in a little bit. I'll swing by and make sure. Like, we've got a long bar at the GLC. You can't see everything from the service well.
The George Lewis stand at the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you got to do like kind of swing by, like, how we doing? Everyone good? Like, you guys want some food or anything?
Shit, big bar. No shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a good
30 feet.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's a good 10, 12 paces.
I mean, it takes a long time to stumble one end or the other end.
Yeah. But I like I'm very lucky that I still love doing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't want to do it a whole lot longer, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I mean, I get it too. Like, but I mean, and especially with some places they don't take cash anymore and stuff, and fucking whatever the fuck that's about. But like, it is a lifestyle that allows a lot of freedom. Yeah. But it can also be a train wreck. Yeah. But it seems like you don't have that train wreck ability, that train wreck program.
Oh, I wrecked the train.
Yeah, but that probably was 10 years ago.
I wrecked the train, and now I'm like, no, I don't need. Like, I'll do.
Right.
I always say, like, I don't drink too much. I drink too often. I probably have 2-3 beers a night but after finish work and I need to wind down or gear down out of like the craziness. Like I say, with the when it's busy and you're working hard, but when
you hear that buzz all night, when that buzz goes away, you're like, wait, what? Even when there's no
more when the buzz isn't my problem, that's when I'm able to shut down.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Whereas my girlfriend, she works from home and works like corporate. She works for she's a translator for Lululemon.
I worked for them for a while. Yeah, right. Cool.
And it's like it's a good job, but like she works from home.
Translates what, French?
Yeah, French. So she does a lot of inter business stuff. Yeah, cool. From what I understand, it's a lot more like. Just making sure it's not just like Google Translated and there's like
you'll get offended.
Or like legalese, like to make sure everything's covered or whatever.
Yeah.
But
especially the French.
Yeah. And so she does
not really, but yeah.
Yeah, she does like Saturday, Sunday, right? Like that's her days off. And I'm like, well, that's when I make money. Like she came up here last weekend before.
Yeah, right.
And I worked the vodka room Friday night, and then I had to work at noon, and it was Pride Week as well. So that was a nice.
Then they can party, man.
Oh my
god!
They
spend money. They tip well.
Oh my god! It was great. Like she got to see how busy it can be, and how like she was like, oh, this is why he doesn't text me for hours at a time. I'm like, I don't have time to get my phone out of my pocket.
Getting buried over here,
let alone text somebody. But it was good to have a kind of like, because I went down to see her like during her work week. I had like 3 days off in a row, so I was went down to the city and hung out.
That's good balance, city and
yeah. So we're trying to figure out what the next step is. Like we've been together just over a year, and like I say, I'm fucking crazy about her. It's the best. It's the best relationship I've ever had.
Oh, cool. That's good. Nice, man. Right on.
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
I keep joking. I feel like I tricked her.
It's funny in this town of Worcester, but like you just have a small town. People are like, it is a tricky place, especially like. Vancouver's not that far, but it's annoying.
Far enough. Yeah, annoying, especially when she only has like Friday nights to
even Squamish. You're like,
yeah.
Like I have friends I love and adore, and I'm like, I don't know. Sorry.
Well, she
moved to Squamish.
So it cost me about $50. Never mind gas. It cost me about $50 a night to park where she lives pretty central. So it costs about $50 every night. I drive down. So I'm like, hey, I could just spend $40 and get high on the bus.
Dude, when I go to the airport, it's the cheapest way, best way, and you don't have to worry about it. Eat an edible, whatever, smoke some weed and go. It's way better.
I was like, hey, why don't you just try it? Because she gets super. I fully understand. She gets super stressed out. She's coming up with all the weekend traffic.
I wouldn't do it either. I would go down. I mean, fucking up here, coming up here is annoying.
Yeah. So So I said, look,
stop coming over, everybody. Don't come over.
Yeah. It's the weather super sucks. Don't come.
Sucks.
Yeah. You guys try Big White. It's awesome.
Or just come earlier. Drive earlier in the morning.
Sponsored by Red Mountain.
Yeah.
But no, it's I fully understand, and I can fully understand her frustrations. It's just kind of one of those look, this is kind of.
It's your time. You're bartender.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I had to quit the vodka room, because I'm doing 6 days a week right now, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for myself.
How does the vodka room work? How do they come in? They buy it. They pay. Is it like here's $50 for the vodka room?
So it's something like 50. I think it's $55. That's with tax and tip.
It's not bad. I mean, it's
not
4
bad.
shots. You get get a cheesy experience. You get a nice fucking
75% of it's all about the
duck jacket
Instagram.
on,
Yeah. It's all about getting the picture. The lighting is great in there. Like the selfie mode is like all time. But it's not our thing.
After 4 shots in 20 minutes, you're fucking hammered.
Man, it's real easy.
And especially if you do it before dinner, or you usually show up. If you show up cold, show up hot, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing, you're fucked. If you show up already drunk, sayonara, man. Because it's vodka's a good drink, but 4 shots, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the amount of people. If I have, let's say, I have 15 groups between
15 shots.
No. So 15 groups. Let's say it's 30 all night. And there's me and another guy working, and even if half of those people say, "Hey, can you do a shot with us?" That's 7 or 8 shots, man. And I still have to do a fucking job. You know, I'm not.
That's why it's pretty fun, but that's why it can be a slippery slope.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's done it once.
Yeah.
I think mine was Canada Day or something. It was I almost drank a bottle of vodka.
I would not be able to control it.
It was because the other thing is no one's really watching,
and no one thinks about watching. There's it's the owner of that place, whatever his name, Andre. I'm sure it's the same guy still.
No, it's so his wife is the chef. Okay. I don't know if he's the owner still, but
this is the Barefoot Bistro, right?
Sorry, yeah.
In town here.
Like I say, it's like all my jobs. It's a dumb fun job. It's just something really cool. I get to work with
everyone's pretty much except for the guys my life sucks, but you can get them laughing again.
You get I actually really love when someone comes in, they know more about vodka than I do.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, please. I know this, but you tell me a little more, and I'll incorporate it into my whole speech or whatever.
You can unlock your car door with it in the winter.
Yeah.
Pouring fucking locks together. Well, some vodkas taste disgusting, and I've just been drinking this Nika whiskey.
From
Japan. Right?
Yep.
And I've been there a couple times, and I bought it I've been saving the bottle for a few years. I don't know why I'm saving. I just I'm not gonna drink it.
I know what you mean. It's
I'm I don't think it's when you age, you just drink it. But I'm I don't want to open it now. But the other night we were here drinking. I'm I ran a beer. I'm gonna open this. So I opened it. It's almost gone now. It's fucking gross.
Oh really?
But I'm well, I just gotta finish it. And it's more like a challenge. I'm not out here just pounding. Actually, well, yeah. It's almost gone.
Yeah, you don't mix it with Coke kind of thing.
I just put it in ice and let it melt a bit and stuff. But I'm you those experiences, whether it's a whiskey tasting or a wine tasting or whatever.
It is interesting. It just
and you gotta but if the person in the room don't know shit about vodka, you could tell them any snake oil shit you want to say. Whatever, it's cool.
Oh yeah, 20% of what I say is lies. It's just easy to probably this.
Yeah.
What I do tell people is say because the first one, it's sponsored by Kettle One. So the first one's Kettle One.
Kettle One's pretty good vodka.
Yeah. It's a nice for doing my job as long as I've done it. For the money it's probably the best one you can get.
Yeah.
I always tell people listen, you get 3 more shots. Don't pick Grey Goose. Don't pick Tito.
You can get
buy
anywhere.
stuff. Yeah. Pick stuff you've never seen before.
That's weird. Yeah.
Let's get weird. Because
take the first shot that get the
because I'd be oh wow, I didn't realize Belvedere tastes like this when it's this cold or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is.
What's the temperature in that room?
Minus 30 Celsius, minus 20 Fahrenheit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's cold enough, but there's no wind chill. It's not wet. That's all that matters.
With huge fans in there.
We get people I'm from Arizona. It's we're gonna give you 2 coats, sweetheart.
They should make it fucking winter. Put snow guns and fucking just.
All right,
yeah.
we'll borrow a gun from
shutting the door,
just blast.
It'd be so fun. It'd be fucking. That's what you should do. You should follow the weather of the day, whatever it is outside.
Oh, when it was minus 29 out, or it was minus 21 over the December kind of time.
Yeah,
it felt warmer in the room. Yeah. It was bitter.
Do people
cold
still
out.
do it then, even if it's busy? People still do it too. Yeah, right.
Yeah. They still. In fact, even over the summer, we had that 38 degrees,
right.
Whatever. From 3:30 till 9 o'clock, every single group was 20 minutes early. They were fuck this heat, push dinner, let's go stand in the freezer for a bit. shorts and flip flops. Like
Right.
let's cool off for a bit.
What's an alcohol that people think, like when they order it, you're like, they think they know what they're talking about? Like I think Kettle One to me is like someone goes, I want Kettle One vodka, and they think they know it's better than Grey Goose. Grey Goose is whatever it is, and Kettle One's like, I'm an insider. I like Kettle One.
Yeah. Okay.
That seems like an alcohol you would order, like say I kind of know what I'm talking about. When you really don't, you just know that Grey Goose has been poured out everywhere. And
Yeah.
Kettle One's like this, like it's actually better.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same price, but no one talks about it, like you said earlier. But
So
like,
I would say right off the top of my head, I'm thinking Patron. Patron is I remember
famous.
I remember the guy ordered a Patron
Tito's
Caesar.
is
I'm
ghetto,
like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, Tito's is another one. Actually, Tito's is one of the corn vodka, not just Tito's. Corn vodka in the vodka room is the only one that doesn't taste any good.
Right.
It just tastes like ethanol.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, but I had someone order a Patron Caesar once. I'm like, he wouldn't know. Like, if he orders a second one, I'm giving him Cuervo. Like, the fuck's this guy talking about? He just wants his buddies to hear him say the words Patron
right.
Caesar. You know, it's like, listen, you can have money and not be stupid. It's fine.
It's like my mom, she always does this Hendrix gin. And she's like, or Hendrix, not Hendrix gin, sorry, the tonic. It's an H word.
Yeah, I know.
Fentimans.
Yeah.
It's an H word. It's an F word. It's the F word. Fentimans tonic. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, I love this stuff. And I'm like, yeah.
It's fine.
It's
Like,
tonic. I don't know what the difference, like, I don't get it. I mean, it's maybe a bit more sodium or whatever. I don't know. But like, I just think those alcohols are funny where like some guys rock in. It's like, yeah, Alberta Pure, give me that shit and just leave.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, I'll take Kettle One. You're like, just go fucking buy Beefeater or go buy. Don't.
Yeah.
You're buying it. What are you buying it for?
man, yesterday, not even alcohol.
know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yesterday, I had a guy from Ontario. He sat at the bar, and we gave him a glass of water.
Yeah.
And I didn't serve him because there's no way. Thank God, because there's no way I'd have been cool about this.
Right.
But he was like, I don't drink water, like tap water. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean,
Right.
you're from Ontario. We've all been there. Yeah, I get it.
Fluoride's good for you.
But then he goes, the government puts chemicals in it to calcify your third eye. And I went, I don't even know what to do with that. And I said, listen, this is the best tap water you're ever going to have. It's glacier fed and whatever. And he tasted, he goes, that's pretty fucking good, though. Like, straight up, I was like,
I'd be
man,
like, get
like,
the fuck out. I would be like, dude, before you even gave me the glacier water, I'm like, dude, get out of here. I mean, also, I was about to say, though, I don't drink tap water anymore. I only drink soda water because I met
I
SodaStream.
live by SodaStream.
I can't drink that peasant regular water
Yeah.
anymore. It's like stupid.
I only drink soda water
It makes-
because I don't drink enough regular water. I'm
Right.
like, well, listen, what I'll do is I'll 50-50 it.
Yeah.
And that way it's like, it's still got the bubbles,
like a
it's got
treat.
that carbonic acid,
Yeah.
but it's not just straight up tap water. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, God.
It's
Like,
like and in the morning when you wake up with like pasties or whatever, you wake up with like morning breath, you fucking chug a glass of sparkling water. Dude,
yeah. It's like, oh, my
today's
day just
you're
got a little brighter.
Yeah, sparkles in the
It's
morning.
like I'm
It's
wearing
great.
sunshine on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the alcohol thing is funny. It's like, yeah, I got this bottle. I was like, I'm buying this special bottle, and I get it. There's some that taste like trash for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny, like the idea of ordering something specific to make it sound like what you're talking about, and you order Kettle One,
Yeah.
or you
yeah.
go like, oh, Canadian Club or something like that. But like, I don't know. I haven't actually. The last time I've been drinking gin recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like gin more than anything else right now. I don't drink it a lot, but I think I like it more than like vodka. But it's not good. It's like a weird taste. It only goes with certain things, right?
That's what I was going to say. So I don't really fuck with gin and tonics. I can't.
Right. Gin and tonics? Yeah, I mean, I like gin and juice, that kind of shit. Like, I'll make it different because gin and tonic, the tonic has like that, grapefruits have that weird like
It's that bitterness. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Who's that for?
Who chooses? Yeah. Like, how are we selling tonic water?
Yeah.
Who's still like I think the reason why tonic is so good is because of gin.
Yeah. I'll fuck with a martini.
Yeah,
Like, don't get
right,
me wrong. Like,
right.
that's, if I'm going to drink a gin, like, the Raven Room used to do, I don't know if they still do it, but it's called a Choke Me Daddy Martini.
Okay, right.
And it's like, now I'm going to get this wrong, but it was olive oil washed gin.
Yeah.
So, like, super, super,
Really
like,
dirty.
creamy,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
okay, right.
A full ounce of olive juice and something else. Like, the vermouth was also, like, it was filthy, filthy fucking
So
dirty.
that's
And it came with blue cheese stuffed olives. And I was like, oh, I like both of these
I
things.
like all that.
Yeah, I was like, I like both of these things so much right now.
What is when someone says I want a dirty, is that like more olive juice?
Dirty
like,
is included olive juice.
Okay.
You can
So
ask for it like, with a twist, and that's a lemon.
Right.
And that's like a brighter, like that's
Right.
gonna accent like those citrus notes in your gin.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I've even had a Hendrix martini with cucumber spear. And again, that's gonna.
I've had it before too. That's good. Like it's a cool kind of crisp.
Yeah,
thing,
and it's a little different, right?
Right.
Like it's definitely turned some heads for sure.
Right. Yeah, because I figured dirty was the olive thing, but I wasn't sure. I thought it might be when you add a different kind of alcohol or something like that. But you can get a vodka martini. Like
Yeah.
I've had tequila Caesars before.
Yeah.
They're gross. They're fucking gross.
I
thought it was cool. I'm good. I used to get them again because it was different. I'm like, oh, people thought I knew what I was talking about. No one agreed with me.
Yeah.
I was an idiot. Yeah, they're fucking gross.
Man, I used to drink Cointreau and Coke, which is an orange liqueur.
Right,
when I was at
that's
university,
disgusting.
I did drink cherry brandy. Go back when my liver.
Amaretto was the shit for me.
Amaretto
Pound
sours.
that.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
But no, I like Jack Daniel's Caesars.
Right.
Somewhere-
really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, somewhere
didn't even
it tastes
know.
like barbecue. It's like
I guess
something
so,
that's
right?
like, all right.
You're gonna put meat in my fucking drink. You might as well give me Jack Daniels.
We had a conference, a buyout this week, and they were drinking 1942 Don Julio,
Yeah,
which is
right.
like we sell it for $40 an ounce, 40 something bucks an ounce. They were drinking Don Julio 1942 old fashions, and I was like,
ounce?
yeah. So it was about $85 drink.
Really?
But boss was paying for it.
Sure,
And we
yeah.
were doing 5 or 6 in a round, like just all right. We'll
That's a
bring
lot
it
of
in.
cat.
Yeah, it was-
whatever.
yeah. Hey
Is
man.
that-
It wasn't that bad. Like,
Right.
I mean, 1942 was a fantastic tequila.
right.
But I wouldn't have chose, like, that wouldn't have been my first thing I decided to drink. And
I
there
just
was
don't
like,
get the cost of stuff. Like I guess I get the thing about wine, just because it's so you make it older everywhere else. I don't know.
yeah, there's a point where you're like, no wine is $30,000.
But I've never been like I drink alcohol. I mean, mostly for the effects of the alcohol, but I casual thing, the lubrication stuff. But like, I've never actually said like I look at it as like it's the best of the worst. The taste of alcohol to me isn't that great. In general, overall.
It's poison. Like, let's be real.
It all kind of tastes like mentholy, vapory, like window cleaner kind of shit. All of it, even beer. But it's like you just decide, okay, this is. I'm never going, wow, that's amazing. Like amazing to me is like a blizzard with like.
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
But like, I have a hard time believing people love the taste of these drinks.
There's a really good
When
book.
you associate that with intoxication and maybe a problem.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
The taste of the flavor. It's probably like an addiction to drug or whatever. Mushrooms are gross,
Yeah.
but I eat them because they're fun.
Yeah.
So I'll deal with that flavor. and deal with
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
But like I can't. There's no one out there, and I don't care. I don't even want any feedback on this. There's no one out there going, I
love
their
the
heart.
taste of if you love the taste of alcohol, you can drink 70% like grain alcohol.
Like,
There's
do you
no
love
way.
the taste of Jack Daniels when you take a shot? No one goes, I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
man,
I
don't
can
know.
listen. I like my whiskey, like my Scotch is Lagavulin 16. It tastes like
Yeah.
burning tires.
Yeah, that's what this stuff tastes like. It's fucking
But
gross.
it's not. But it's there's a book called This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. It's all about quitting drinking.
Right,
and it basically talks about that. It's like, listen, we don't like. Do you remember the first time you tried your dad's beer?
It's gross.
Yeah, you go like you're 8 or whatever. You go, oh no, how do people?
Yeah.
And then you turn into a college student. You go, I could drink this for the rest of my life.
raging.
And some people do.
Yeah.
Like it's not. And then you obviously get your hard spirits and stuff. And yeah, it's just it's you kind
It's
of
a weird thing, man.
It's not even you learn to love it. You just learn to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's like ciggies. It's like coffee. Yeah, coffee's gross.
Yeah.
But I drink a fucking ton of it with nothing in it anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't understand that kind of thing. It's like ciggies. Yeah, same thing. It's like they're gross. But when I was 12, I had them. Like, these are. I guess I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But then I just don't believe you. You just look for the best of the worst. In my opinion, as far as alcohol goes, people are willing to accept a certain flavor because of the effects it has.
Yeah.
But to sit down and have like one whiskey on the rocks, people are going to lose their mind on this thing. But it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. Like you're like commending yourself for bearing the
I think it's
punishment of flavor.
I think it's almost a ceremony.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like this would
Sure.
take me like this 1 ounce would take me a casual half hour to drink.
Because we had the talk about
Casual.
cigars earlier, and cigars, we talked about it. I mean, the cigar room's kind of cool, but honestly, after half an hour, cigars.
Yeah, you're like,
fucking-
hey, I think I'm done with this.
your face
now.
is weird.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
You don't want to inhale, and you're like, "Ugh," and it's all
Yeah.
fucked up, and you're like, it's not.
I feel like I got a sponge in my mouth or something.
It's a weird
yeah.
thing to enjoy things that you actually don't like.
I think it's. I mean, there's the other side of this. Is like now I'm not a football guy
Yeah,
at
whatever.
all. But Tom Brady retired, obviously, And that man is either a superhuman or he's just not from this world. Because, and I don't mean that as in like, oh, he's otherworldly as good of a. He thinks that tomatoes are a cheat food. I'm sorry, motherfucker. Have you had a lasagna ever? Like,
yeah, tomatoes aren't good for
you. See, but they're tomatoes, man. They're vegetables. Like,
that's weird.
It's not ketchup, like.
That's a very specific thing. It's like that tomatoes are. I've heard. My buddy Tyler was on the podcast last time. We talked about tomatoes, how they have like sometimes they're responsible for like leaky gut syndrome, and tomatoes aren't that good for you. There's something about what's in in the skin and stuff. There's something that's not good for you. I don't like tomatoes, but those things where it's like tomatoes are cheat food. I mean, why? I never heard him say that. But like, what's he mean? I don't get.
Yeah,
that.
It's like that. Like, what are you eating? Like, just. There's only so healthy you can be. My point is
tomatoes are right.
My point is like just sometimes we do have to do stuff that isn't good for us because it makes life worth living.
Yeah, but like he's not going eating like a tomato like a fucking apple. He's not.
No.
Like a donut. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go have a snack and eat it. I'm gonna go eat a tomato. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's like you're wrong. That's bad.
Like, a little bit of salt, pepper, sure, cut it up, everybody. If you just go like, that's stupid.
Like a bocconcini salad, or just caprese salad, or whatever.
You should retire from eating food and talk about it.
Yeah.
It is funny those flavors though. Like the things that taste weird. It's like Vegemite and those things are like the bitterness and stuff. It's like how do you get to the point where you like it? Because the flavors aren't good. And like I said before, like I'll drink these things because it's like, the vibrations, you want to go and have a good time and hang out. But I'm a rare, I won't just have a beer and hang out.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to drink beer, I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to drink beer tonight. I'm going to get 4 or more. And then that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, I'm going to have one beer. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Unless somewhere mountain biking is like, hey, you want a beer? And a mountain bike, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a beer.
That's totally different.
But that's more like it's more of a celebration, the idea of the thing, right?
Yeah,
it's like the ritual, I guess, like whatever you want to call it. But
I've also got into my my non-alcoholic beers, so you can kind of switch it up. Now,
yeah, but the flavor of beer's still there.
Yeah, see, gross. that's okay, because
it's gross.
So, we just had ski tour not too long ago. I was off for the first time in a long time that I was actually off for the party, and I got to go. And it was the afternoon, so I wasn't out past my bedtime.
You had ski tour? Oh, that was like a couple days ago, like last
week.
Yeah,
last week sometime. Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it was
cool.
wild.
Sweet. Yeah.
But I drank. Now, bearing in mind, I did drink on the mountain, but I came in 4:00 ish, and we have Sunbrew, Corona, non-alcoholic beers. It looks exactly like it, and if you hold the label facing your hand, no one can see that it's not alcoholic.
Right.
So you can just drink that and it tastes the same, and you're still feeling like you're in the vibe, you can dance around, whatever. I think I had 2 beers all night.
Right.
And then I had 1 shot. And that was because I bought some for the people I was with, like working with or whatever. And yeah, I was like, you know what, like this makes me feel like I'm in that mood. Or like, if you want to just like, hey, I just need to not be at work, but I also don't want to go home yet.
Right.
You drank, like, I'll go to the Beacon. They have Street Legal. It's an IPA from Red Racer, and it's 0.5%. Like it's got that bitterness that like I like in an IPA, whatever.
Really?
And without being like, okay, well, it's 6.5%. Good luck driving home.
Well, yeah, I get that part for sure, but I don't know what it is. I guess if you're drinking a lot and you want to find a way to not drink as much, the flavor of beer can satiate that feeling of it, and you don't get the alcohol. I guess it's kind of like e-cigarettes, whatever, something that's like not still grocery, but like things where like the nicotine gum, you still have these things ever, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. How are you doing? Mine's empty.
Yeah,
hold on. Let me check the.
This is when the ad break comes in. Oh wow, really?
That's crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think it says 50 minutes there, something like that. Nice. And we're back.
Thanks for waiting.
Yeah. So you have something that you wanted to talk about? I can't remember. We talked about in the car on the way here.
Oh, I've just become an adult. Like,
yeah. Well, you were telling me like house, moved,
car, license.
The license thing is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Well, most places, like, you don't need it, but the convenience, man. Now that you have it,
I didn't realize. Like, I remember about 3 months after I got my car, I texted my brother and I was like, "Walking's for chumps."
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are we doing?
It's commendable, but it's also like sufferfest for whatever. Right?
Yeah. I mean, so I can tell you why. I left Ontario when I was 15, and I moved to England. And there, the public transport is so good. I could get to London by myself in under just over an hour.
Yeah, right.
And then I moved out here and I was 22 and you're meeting all these people. It's like, I could be spending money on car insurance and getting lessons, or I could be going out and, hanging out with my...
You can't drink and drive because you don't even have a car
exactly.
or a license.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
And then next thing you know, I turned 35 and went, oh my, okay, this happened.
Yeah.
I just kept, living that life. I think, doing the job definitely kind of keeps you in that little zone, right? But it got to the point I was like, I have to do this.
Did you pass the test right away?
Second time.
A few times, I think.
Yeah. So I, first of all, the Drive BC, oh my God, I've forgotten the name. It's up in Pemberton. It's run by its husband and wife. They're amazing. Yeah, they're honestly, they're so great. Learn to drive. LearnToDrive.ca. They are the best. Like, so my co-pilot, as he called himself, he was the best. He was like, he when I first started, he's like, I saw within the first minute, I saw the boogeyman just get off your shoulder, because like I hadn't really driven before.
Yeah, it is daunting for sure. It's stressful for sometimes for sure.
And he was like, he was. So we did my lesson. He goes, "You're a very good driver. You're good." He's like, "You're good at multitasking because you can do this job. You're bartending, whatever." Yeah. And it's like, you just need to, like, now that you just be behind the road, you got to always check your mirrors. Same sort of thing as you're snowboarding, whatever.
Yeah.
So
no one does that snowboarding. Everyone just fucking bombs down. Yeah.
So but the main thing was, so the reason I failed my first time was because I was used to, when parallel parking was outside the Fairmont there. Oh, right. And it's like, hey, this is where you're going to be in. Like, you see it in this mirror, you see it in this mirror, you turn, right? Yeah. Like, so then we pulled up, and my instructor, there was no car behind me for 10. I was like, I don't know how to do this, but let's give it a shot. I hit the curb, blah, blah, blah. To his credit, the guy, like, he directed me, it was about 15 minutes in, he directed me straight back to the marketplace. And, he was really good. He said, listen, because they turn their emotions off. Yeah, as soon as you park the car, he goes, you did fine. This is what you did wrong. Yeah. This is what you need to work on. Like, don't worry. Hardly anyone passes their first time. I then had to book it in Squamish after that, because it was going to be like almost a year.
Yeah, I've heard that around here between Squamish, Pemberton, and Whistler. Yeah. It's like, it's hard to get a thing.
Yeah. The other thing was, like, I wanted to go to Squamish because A, it's a grid system. Yeah. And B, I know this area so well. I didn't want to get complacent and just be cruising a 50 and a 30 or whatever. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, like we're in the K. Okay, I come up here, I go around the corner to school here. You know what I mean? Did you take
driving lessons?
Yeah. We did. Okay. I did about probably 24 hours.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah. Wow.
But then like driving down and everything, like, it was great because, again, Todd, my guy, he was like, pretend that your instructor is your grand, like, it's a guest at your bar, right? Yeah. You want to make sure she's good, she's happy. You're not like, keeping on her, but yeah. And then he's like, and also, like, you're very aware of. I remember I was a kid. My dad said the only thing you have to remember about driving is that you have to assume that everyone around you is going to do the stupidest thing possible, right, at any time. Right. He's like, pretend that everyone around you is a moron, standard, and they'll do the same with you. Yeah. And just make double sure that everything you do is going to be, right. And then so Todd was like, listen, you're good at this. You can do 3 things at once because you've been doing this for almost, at that time, it was 17, 18 years. I then had to push because it was a freak snowstorm in November. I had a book for, and I was like, I'm not driving in this snow. Get the fuck out of here.
That's the whole point of learning. Yeah.
So then I learned in May, and I got it, and I literally cried. And the lady was like, "You passed." I got my parallel parking. It was the second thing we did, and she was like, "You did great on that." I was like, "Perfect," because that's the thing I fucked up on.
Were you training? Like, did you buy a car before?
No, I was looking at, like, this ghetto ass. It was a Subaru Brat body on a Jeep Cherokee chassis.
I don't know what that means.
It was basically, it's like
a wagon type.
It's
thing?
Like a I want to say Camaro. It's like a car with a truck back. You know what I mean? There's an American one. I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah, it's El Camino.
Yes, El Camino. Yeah.
Those are dope.
So yeah, and this thing was like, it had like the suicide hub. Like, there was space you could stand on the front, and I was like, cool. $4,000 cash. I was like, I have that. This is like before I had before I had a license.
Is that the car you have right now? Then
no.
I went. Dude, would have been great.
I went the total. I have what I call the Grandma Mobile. His name is Monstro. It's a Subaru Legacy.
You're not a lesbian?
No, not even a little bit.
Wow. Weird. All right, cool.
But I lucked out. I found a guy who was. It's kind of a sad story. He had like a stroke and heart surgery within like 18 months, and he was 70 something. Oh wow. And so the doctor said, you should sell this car. He hadn't been driving it. It was just his pet project. Right. To the point, like, he took the sheet off of it. He took it off the rubber tires. He had the battery disconnected. He put that on. Cool. Like, to the point we changed the insurance over. And he took a dust rag out of his back pocket and wiped behind with license. I was like, oh no, I'm taking his child.
Oh,
52,000 kilometers on it. I got it for 5,500.
That's legit.
And it's a 2002.
That's fucking
or
money.
2000 Subaru Legacy.
cares?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, man, I won't have to buy another car for 10 years.
Yeah, I have a Mitsubishi RVR. It's lame. It's 2011. I bought it like 6 years ago. It's dope. It's fucking. It's not cool. I look like a.
Doesn't matter.
I look like I'm a janitor or something. No offense, janitor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want a truck. It means I have to help
It's also incognito. Where if you're doing something wrong, you're like,
yeah,
no
yeah.
Really paying attention.
Officer, no.
Yeah,
like, that's why I cut my hair short. It's like that. No one thinks I smoke weed.
I think about that too. Yeah, trying to grow my back, but yeah. So you have your learners right now. Or what do you have?
I have
license?
my N.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Because I got my license like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
almost
in Ontario, right?
Yeah, and we had like graduated licensing, and you had this learner's permit thing, and it's kind of the same thing. But there's L and N, and then there's like whatever.
And that's full on, yeah. So basically, it's I'll pull
learners
it
is before you take your test, and you're just like
you pass
the
the written, yeah.
And then the N is like your new driver. How long does that last for? A year?
N I think is every 5 years. I can tell you actually.
What do you mean? You have to get a test within 5 years to get past?
No, you have to like earliest exam May 2023, May 3rd. So I can't do my full test until May of this year.
So how long though? Is that a year? You have to wait a year?
This expires on 2026 on my birthday, but I can always...
When did you get that though?
I got this May 14th.
Okay. Because like when I was younger, you'd have like if you took a course, you could take the written test, get your learner's permit. You had to wait a year before you get your regular license, take the test. If you took a course, like a certified instructor course, you could knock 4 months of that, and in 8 months you can take your test. That's still a thing?
I'm not sure. Again, I'm much older.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. I'm sure
all I know is this means I can't drive. Obviously, a 0.0 alcohol. I can't be dinged.
Boring. No, sorry.
Yeah. Right. It's like that's like. But that's what
driving jokes.
But that's also why I got into my non-alcoholics because like again I wanted to, and I go to the Raven Room because they have de-alcoholized like bourbon or gin, whatever. Yeah. So I can have a cocktail. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, right? So it's like you can wind down, whatever. Obviously, no cell phones, and I think there's something like you can't have people that are under 25 that aren't in your family. But I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't count for like if I'm driving.
If you have friends that young,
that's friends home that I work with, like because it's fucking minus 25 or whatever.
What about highway driving and nighttime shit's all
totally
normal,
fine.
Right? Okay,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right,
There's no like midnight to 5 a.m. or anything like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's like. I have lots of friends who didn't get a license for a long time, and as a kid. I lived out in the country. I lived like far from town. I took a bus to school every day. So like when I was 16, my brother had a car when he was younger, and I was 16. My parents. It was just a thing. Like I don't know. As a kid, I guess I was maybe I was privileged and stuff, and we were able to do it. And I was like, got a car when I was 16. And then, dude, that was freedom.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So I lived out in the country. And my high school was in half an hour away. But by bus, it was an hour and a half.
Oh my God!
Because it's like farmland. So like you get on a bus, and you pick everybody up, you drive around, right? But by car, it was like half an hour. But the freedom was different, and especially at a young age, it's reckless. Like no one's.
That's the other thing, yeah.
Like you're going to bush parties, doing donuts, trying to like. I had a Camaro. It was like old, beat up Camaro. My first car was stupid, it's ghetto. But I never really thought about. I thought in big cities, sure, licenses, who cares? Like. Especially New York or Vancouver, I don't know. I guess it depends what you do, but this town, though, the bus system's pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you do rely on the snow, fucks things up.
That's it. Yeah.
So if you're living somewhere and the bus is fucked because of snow, now your job is like, where are you? Like, well, I can't get here.
I'll be there in an hour.
But having a car is like insurance, the cost. It's like the increase in life expenditures.
Oh,
like
the time you save. Like my first time I had to take
but it's like hundreds of bucks a month to save that amount of time. You're spending like $150 on insurance. You have car payments, whatever. I don't know if that you don't, but since you might, but like if you have that,
even so, yeah.
Gas, you're like when it's $250 for the bus. But then it becomes your time.
Yeah.
And like, as you start to get older, you're like, my time is worth more maybe than as a younger person. I don't know.
Well, especially like because so you didn't see it like when you picked me up. Usually like this weekend, my landlords they Airbnb their place out. There are 2 trucks and 6 sleds in my driveway most of this weekend.
Wow.
Except they just weren't there when you showed up because I was like I can't. And also even if I were to drive out here and come back, I can't guarantee I can get back into my space.
Oh right. Yeah, that sucks.
But I remember I think it was one of the first times I was like moved where I was like, okay, I'll take the garbage to recycle, like to Nestor's. I'll go out to get some groceries or whatever. I was like, that I'll plan like 2 hours, 45 minutes, both done. I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I can go back to bed.
The bus
work,
life,
you know, like
you take like the bus life is, it's an hour add on to everything.
Yeah.
Even
if you miss it,
even if you're
like
if you're pinpoint accuracy, get on the bus, do your doing, come back, right? That's an hour. From where, especially from here in south of Worcester and Cheakamus.
Yeah.
I mean, I take the bus when I need to. Like if I'm, I don't go. I said before, I don't take the bus into town to come home sober.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
Only reason why I would take the bus into town usually is for if I'm going to go meet some friends or so I don't end up. So my car's not stuck in the village when I take a cab home, and cabs are $25 to get back down here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I was on the bus a little while ago. It was fucking awesome.
It's like a nature documentary.
Yeah, I mean, when you have to, it sucks. When you have to, it's shit. But I was 3 beers deep, going to meet some friends in town. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I'm like on the bus, people are pumping, like everyone's 20. And I'm like,
they're coming from the HI or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We're picking up as you get close to the village. Everyone gets drunker and drunker. So like, I got a beer I stuck in my pocket. I mean, you never grow up, right? So
allegedly,
yeah, yeah. And so, but I do. It's but the cost increase is 1,000-fold of like,
Well, like it's every so often, especially like, the vodka room, it's not a hard job. It's a fun job.
Yeah.
But by the time you're done, like I started, let's say I start at 4, I can be there till midnight. And like you on a Saturday or Friday, you're up on your feet all night. You're talking to people all night. And the next thing you know, it's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going the fuck home. Like I have my car right over there. I can be home in 4 minutes.
Yeah. And also, I burp a lot. Everybody knows that. It's just my MO. But if you finish work finishes when it finishes, right? Yeah. So, and at that late at night, the bus schedule always slows down a bit, right? I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So then you at the point where like if I finish at 12:31, I'm fucked till 1:45.
Yeah, yeah.
If I finish at 12:15, I can run and make it 12:30.
Yeah. And I live 20-minute walk from town.
I know, but even that
walking 20 minutes is like, I mean, you may as well say, hey, can you walk to Vancouver for me, please?
Especially when you're hammered on vodka, sneaking shots all night.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you think? I can answer that if you want to. How much do you think for being a bartender? And actually, I don't want to get you busted. How many shots do you think you had at that place while you're working? And your boss must say like, look,
we've all gone too far.
Yeah,
at some point. You just, if anything, it's like, okay, you flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, right.
At the end of the day, as long as you get your stuff cleaned up,
sure,
and you don't do it often, like,
I mean, it can cause a problem for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's
because you do get like people want you to do it with them.
Yeah,
it's like it's like a ski instructor. The whole thing now. Instructors can't go in their uniform to après or even go, I think, to après.
Yeah.
So your customer relations tanked.
Yeah.
Your opportunity for a tip and maybe like a better referral tanks.
Yeah.
So those chances where you get to interact with your clients, your audience,
on a casual,
and be like, hey, I'm gonna have a shot with you guys, sure. As an adult and a respectful person, you're like, yeah. But when somebody like Vail take that kind of stuff away from people, like the cash thing, your livelihood, these kind of things. It just changes. It ruins everything.
It's just it's a little.
So to be able to have that,
a little more formal. I will say, so my rule when I'm working in the vodka room is no shots after 7.
Yeah, that
doesn't matter if I'm driving or not.
Right, yeah.
7:30 if they're rad or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I'm trying something, because I only work once a week right now.
And you got to know if this vodka's gross. You're like, look,
exactly.
Don't touch that one.
Or someone says, like, hey, what's this one taste like? I'm not going to lie. I haven't tried that one in a long time. But based on what we just tried, I know what Kettle One tastes like.
Right.
Why don't we try this one out? I said, let me do it. I'll just literally wet the bottom of the shot glass.
Yeah.
I'll do a little like wine tasting myself and go, okay, so this is a little spicier. It's like it's a rye as opposed to a wheat. So
super smooth.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, really stings the nostrils.
I'll be right back. Yeah.
But in that way, kind of like you can kind of give them, and it's weird because you kind of have to get into this like wine.
Connoisseur,
it's like the one like Ciroc is like sommelier.
I was gonna say, what's a wino called?
Yeah, the wine guy, the wine dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I definitely say, okay, like for example, like Ciroc is a great base as opposed to
Right.
rye or a potato.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a little rounder on your palate, and they're like, "That's weird. What the fuck do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know how else to say it. Try it, and you'll understand."
Yeah, it's
and
like-
they go, "Oh yeah, okay. Like it's not. Yeah, it doesn't have edges on it." I'm like,
It's
"That's
like-
what I just said."
Yeah, it's like eating a watermelon or a sour apple.
Yeah.
It's different things. It's the same kind of texture a little bit, but you different flavors. Yeah, I don't. I'm not trying to, but I think most businesses like that, especially in Worcester, it's like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to include yourself in the group, just in those experiences.
Yeah.
To some point, where
And
that
at the
person-
same time, it's not being allowed. It's. I mean, fuck, hundreds of hours of conversations have gone on about how,
Yeah.
oh, it wasn't like the good old days and blah, blah, blah.
Dude,
You know,
I want to ask
like-
you about this as a writer. Sorry, we're gonna. I think
Yeah.
we probably wrap it up here soon, but letters to the editor. Everybody, just stop. I faked, dude. I read.
I
sorry.
love the legislative, but I know what exactly what you're about to say.
My as a writer and somebody who I respect as a writer and person, human, whatever else is, they're all very within the same kind of ballpark of what we're all talking about. It's somebody who's older or younger complaining about things how they were or how they are. And I get it, nostalgia and looking back. I do too. You know, I'll probably be guilty of the same thing I'm about to complain about tomorrow when I talk to my next guest. But like, are they writing for themselves? I feel like a lot of letter editors are writing for themselves to be able to, oh, I got published, cool. And if you're an aspiring writer, I think it's like a false way to get into it. It's cool to do it, but like this, I read one a couple days ago. I've been writing letters to the editor for years, and I'm like, but so I went back and I tried to find the guy and look online for the other ones. Found a few, all the same. And I know the peak's getting smaller. Sorry, peak sucks, but like it's getting smaller, so they have less to pull from. But letters for the editor. Do you read them? And you said you like them.
I do like them, but I know what you mean.
It's
it's
everyone's complaining about the ski town thing that's happening, and yeah, it sucks. But most people I look at it, they're like they've benefited immensely from whatever's happened in this town.
yeah. So
Are they? And you're allowed to go back and go, I don't, whatever. But like, people gotta fucking stop.
I find, I mean, let's zoom out a little bit. The people who write into not just the Peak, but newspapers in general
Anyway,
are
yeah.
older people because they write to newspapers.
Who's got
for
time?
fuck's sake, you know, like
Yeah,
they write
sure.
on paper, to
Yeah.
you know what I mean, or they
Yeah.
email whatever. They don't. They're the people. They're the Karens.
In the words of Walter
you know?
Cronkite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like so there's a little bit of you know, a little bit of bias in the sense of our sampling here.
Right.
Or it's a case of people coming. I mean, the only difference between some of those letters and what I'd hear when I was house advisor was it was face to face. Why are bananas so cheap here? Why is
Yeah.
cheese so expensive? Bacon's not the same. Man, what the fuck do you want to go skiing? You want to eat bacon? Get the fuck out of here.
wanna do
Like
both, dude.
You know, like it's like I said that to like no, I'm not no bias or no hate against
Yeah.
any particular travelers or
Right.
industry
Sure.
people.
Of course,
but
yeah. It's not about.
but
we're
hey, man,
generalizing here, but yeah.
did you come here to eat Cadbury's chocolate or did you come here to go skiing? Because I know the skiing sucks in England.
And you'll never go on a cheap trip
Yeah.
unless you go live in a backpacking service.
Yeah.
So everything's expensive. So, you can get fucked by the weather, but I just think sometimes I'm like, the letter to the editor, I've been reading a bunch of them because I didn't want to make this statement. And it's funny you brought it up because I was going to bring it up anyway. But man, I'm like, shut up.
The other
I'm
thing is
shut
like
up.
I don't. I mean, now I'm a homeowner as well, but I feel like a lot of these people like it's not the same. It's like because
It's not the same. It sucks.
Yeah,
I wasn't here when they were. It sucks.
No, exactly. Like, but how many properties do you own? You know, like let's talk about that. Like, it sucks because you're not making any money off of it
If
anymore.
this is your first, if you've written 10 letters to the editor, you know what? Pitch to write an article.
Yeah,
And write.
yeah.
If you're going to write that much, you've given us 5,000 words over the past 5 years.
Yeah,
10
for
years.
free.
Yeah, and no one cares. The best part about the Peak is the when the police write the encounters.
Oh my god! I wish they could be a little more specific though. Holy
It
shit!
is a highlight of that.
Oh.
Of that whatever you call it.
Sneak
newspaper.
preview on that.
It's so funny.
A friend of mine.
The funny stories, man.
A friend of mine was like,
And some shitty ones. But.
he was at. I'm gonna be as vague as the
Please, yeah, I
police
don't
reports are.
Yeah.
My friend was at a restaurant and this guy was there making a big song and dance about how he was, you know, buying everybody around or whatever.
Yeah.
Came up to them, you know, put his arm around the dude, and the guy was like, "No, thank you. Please leave me alone."
Right.
guy smashes a bottle, says, "Come outside then." And they're like, "I beg your fucking pardon."
Really?
So yeah, he was outside the restaurant, like waiting. They called the cops right away,
for
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, cops took him away. Like, I guess they chased him down the street, whatever. And yeah,
What a turn of events.
breaking news.
Within
Like
10 seconds. He's like,
yeah.
come on.
And I don't like. I wasn't there, and I like obviously. So it's all like hearsay. So this is all on allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak. We're just.
I don't speak legalese, but
no one's trusting us here.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be in the paper on Thursday. Like,
wow, dude. I mean, people are fucked up for sure. Like, people do dumb shit. I mean, and sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's on purpose. But like that kind of stuff, it's like alcohol again, or or
something way deeper that alcohol brings out.
maybe the guy's trying to realize he's an asshole and he just got told he was and he can't deal with it, so he's going to try to fight it out.
Yeah, and like.
Someone told him the truth. He couldn't take it.
Because like, I'm not a big dude, but I'm definitely taller than a lot of people.
I forgot. I noticed you're taller than me. I was like, I forgot he's taller than me.
Yeah, so it's like, if someone like because I'm not a fighter, I'm too pretty to fight.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's up for debate.
I mean, I'm also bad at it. Yeah. I bleed and I cry. You don't want to fight me.
Yeah. Right.
But there's people who are like, let's have a go. It's like, I'm good, man. Thanks. Like, I talk myself out of situations.
I'd
pretty
get
easy.
punched out pretty fast. I think I got a bit of a mouth, so sometimes I have to fucking calm down. But like, yeah, I think I probably get punched out pretty.
I'm
quick.
astonished I still have all my teeth. Like,
I think people think they do better than they would in a fight. I think a lot of people think in their brain, who haven't fought, they think they have something going. They're like, I could probably get a couple of snags, and they're like, no, you couldn't.
Yeah,
someone's gonna punch you in the face.
So you're not an MMA fighter, man. Like,
if you're not like. And if it's almost better that person is, because then that person will probably show restraint on you and won't kill you.
Yeah.
If they're a fucking street fighter, some guy just goes and fucking pounds fists and hopes your head hits the pavement. That's fucked up, right? It's not even the punch. The punch is the one thing, but the head hitting the pavement.
Well, it's like, when you get hit by a car, it's not getting hit by a car. It's the fact that you're probably going to land on your fucking head on the concrete.
Yeah, or go through the windshield
from 4 to 6 feet up.
But, yeah, I mean, people do, I don't know, people get angry about shit. And drunk people. Where was I? Oh, even just at the pub down the street, people get like fucking glazed over, hammered, and like, hey, you're cut off. They're like, what? Why? Even if they're not mad, you're like, I know you don't see it right now.
It's cool
because you can't even see me right now. But the four of us that you do see are telling you got to leave.
You can come back tomorrow. Yeah. I was just talking about some of the, one of my bouncers today.
It's
so like,
funny watching.
There's no like. Even so, they're from. He's from Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
and he's saying like, I've lived in the UK for a while, and there are guys who just get hired because they like to beat people up as bouncers. And like here, it's like, hey, you've had too much, you got to go home. And 99 times out of 100, they like wake up or whatever. They go, oh my god, you're right. I'm so sorry. I got to go. Or, like they just black in real quick,
Or they have no clue. They're so hammered. They're like, what? And they just you have to kind of guide them out the door.
Okay, come with me.
I watched it last night at the pub down the street. They're like, you're cut off. And the guy's like, huh? And his eyes are fucking like he's cross-eyed. I don't know if I don't know if it's a condition. I didn't see him before he was drunk, so I don't know if he's got a wandering one. But like, I'm like, this guy's fucking destroyed. But he's not going to harm anybody except like probably die in a snowbank. That's the only problem we have, right? Which is horrible. But I'm like, they're like, you're cut off. He's like, huh? And here, having him process alcohol, his emotions, and the thought and the idea of what just happened, it was 10 minutes. He's like, and just like, what, they call them a cow, whatever else, but man, the glazed over, I'm cut off, and you get to the point you don't know why. It's so funny.
Yeah,
because then but when people get angry, it's fucking stupid. But man, I think cutting people off is hilarious.
Man, a good trick.
You must have
a good trick I learned a long time ago was I would grab like a pint glass and I'd half fill it with water, and you put it in front of them. And you wait a couple minutes. You go, buddy, like if you can't even finish a glass of water, I can't give you a beer.
Well, that's fair. Yeah,
because they go, oh shit, I don't even remember getting a glass of water. I can't even finish. Like I'm not even.
Dude, so you're
you just totally Jedi them, man. Like, and they go, shit, maybe I gotta go. It's like maybe you should, man. Like I'm just saying, like you know
all the tricks. You've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, dude, it's like someone taught me that. It is never failed.
I'm gonna go. If that happens to me, I'm gonna fucking throw it out and go, I know that was half a glass, asshole. And now that I know, I'll throw it over the table. I remember one time. My buddy Corey and I were at Tapley's, and this sticks in my head a bunch, and we were hammered. But like, you have the memories where there's moments that glean into your brain, you don't have to forget them. So we're sitting there, and we're partying. She's making fun of me, and he's better at me than making fun of that. I couldn't make fun of him back. He was just roasting me. I couldn't stop. So I was like, I just took his beer and fucking threw it across the room. And fucking Tapley's fucking hit the. We were like sitting on the right side. I just remember like going smash, and he's like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, "Well, I was so hammered." I'm like,
You're better than I am.
I didn't even answer. We started laughing. We're crying, laughing at this time because it was like, so you don't like the smash. Everyone's like, "Who's this fucking asshole?" And now I'm the asshole. No one saw who did it. I'm like, we ordered more drinks. It was insane that no one saw, but people at the bar do the dumbest shit, dude. Like, like, I mean, drugs in the bathroom. Like, I mean, all this stuff. Like, people just like, especially in this town, you get on vacation or you just get, if you're 4 drinks away from blacking out, you're gonna do insane shit if you're like partying.
I am so glad that like those days are behind me, and the days that when those were me was before Facebook.
Yeah, and you're anonymous. Yeah,
oh my god, it's like I tell people like so. I've been in town for a while, and I work with these kids who are younger than my bartending career.
Yeah,
and I was talking to my brother. My brother spent 5 or 6 years out here.
Sure, yeah.
And I was telling him about these new kids, and he was like, "Aaron, you're their Jimmy Button." And I was like, "That's a real deep cut," because he was, when I met him, he'd been bartending 20 years.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know what he's doing now. He's out in, I believe he's out in Saskatchewan now.
Right.
But that was definitely like oh shit, I'm the old guy.
You're the old guy now.
Oh man, I'm worked at it.
You know
like,
do you have much gray though?
Arctic blonde.
Do you comb it out?
No, I have a little bit going on, but it's all
So, yeah.
I've done all right.
When your beard goes gray behind the bar,
that's when it's time. It's like steakhouse or quit. Like you gotta
get a white shirt and an apron.
Yeah,
yeah. And like, this ma'am, sir, what can I get for you? And you're like,
I can't
suggest this wine for you. You make more money probably.
I did tell myself years ago. I was like, I have to get out before I get to like, you know, the $58 Manhattan. Like I can't do that to myself. I can't do the, you know, the being there and just hoping that somebody comes to the bar and sits down and doesn't want to. You know, it's not my scene. In the same way that, you know,
do you ever get like, I mean, just the whole half glass of water thing? I would fuck with people all the time. I think if I were behind the bar, not like I like goof around, trick them around stuff. Just like, you know,
I definitely
you're gonna love this one and give them you're gonna love this drink I made it for you. Give them something that's horrible.
Oh, I've done that.
I'm just
like,
kidding, you know.
Well, especially like, I mean, we just had MLK weekend. This happened a few years ago, but someone's like, "What's the strongest shot you could give me?" I was like, "Most of our liquor is 40%." Yeah. 80 proof for Americans. Yeah. And they go, okay, but which one of those is the strongest? I'm like, I don't know what you're asking me.
Yeah, that's
the
weakest question.
I was like, what's the strongest? Okay, just give me the strongest thing. So I would just take gin and put it in the microwave for 5 seconds and be like, here, you drink that. Get the fuck out of here,
gin?
please.
Gross.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, like,
that's an asshole move.
Ask a stupid question, you know, like.
Wait, you just said something there earlier. You said, I know what the proof is usually twice as much as the alcohol, whatever else.
Yeah.
Does that Americans go by proof?
Generally, yeah. Like you'll hear people say like this is 95.
I know it's always
kind
of both. It's always in the label at the same time.
Yeah, like it's I
didn't know they went by proof.
It's like Fahrenheit, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, I know that. I get it, but I didn't. Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, you kind of go like, yeah, you'll be fine.
It sounds fine. I think of like Jim Leahy.
Yeah.
Fucking when he's like talking to Randy, he's like 151 proof. I'm fucking wasted.
Oh.
Fucking Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's been a fucking funny chat. I know we made other stuff to talk about, but the idea of this town and like, you know.
Well, we'll say we're both kind of like, we're not old farts yet, but like we've been here long enough. We're in the heart. We've seen the things. Yeah, like we're past that party point, but we're not. You know, the homeowners, the ones being like, that's why I love going to ski tours. So you've got Case of the Mondays, which is like Johnny T and Duda. They're two DJs. They're really good. They're great guys, but they collect a lot of like, you know, 20 to 25-year-olds and they party. Now, you couldn't pay me enough to fucking go to that party. No offense.
I'd go just get loaded.
Yeah, it's like that's not my scene.
Than be involved.
And at the same time, you know, you go to the other end of the spectrum. You got like She Stole My Beer, and it's all like the guys who bought a place here in '93, and they think they know more than you because they've been here this much longer and they own a house and blah blah blah. How dare you cut me off? I've been here. Whatever. Cool,
that
man.
That kind of stuff. I hope I never get that way.
Yeah.
If I do.
Whereas ski tour is like my/our generation of partiers, and it's like, well, we're gonna be home by like 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock.
Dude,
you know, like
I went and saw them on a boat in Vancouver.
Oh man, did you go to that?
Yeah,
I was meant to go, but I couldn't get the time off work.
Yeah, we did like got a bit of, I think we had like MDMA and some acid or something like that, and you do like and you're an adult partying, so you measure out what you're gonna do for the day and know that by 6 o'clock you gotta get back on that bus and get back to it.
Yeah.
But you're like, so I don't want to be destroyed, blackout,
lost in Vancouver
at like 6:30.
Yeah.
That party went from like it was like 1:30 until like 5.
Yeah.
Dude, the boat should be fucking blown up and sank. The bathrooms, it was a killer party, but the bathrooms broke right away.
Oh my God.
There's 4 people on the boat, and the bathrooms are in the galley.
Yeah.
They clogged immediately, like within 20 minutes. I had gone to the washroom when I got there. They're clogged immediately. Like I'm not even joking. Like done.
Oh
so they took them an hour. They had to get a boat because you just do you go out in the bay and you're not going far.
Yeah, you do a little booze cruise or whatever.
So I don't know if there's something on the boat or whatever. If they fixed them, and just a bunch of bouncers, like guys who were bouncers like Garfs last night, go to a boat. They don't know about boats. They're like, oh yeah, fucking don't poo on the boat.
Yeah, please don't jump.
Yeah, and the floors were soft. Some spots you could see like they put like anyway. Yeah, everyone's old. We were all like 35, 40.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
you're
like,
all raging, but you're all like, oh man.
I know I gotta pay the sitter.
People are like face painted or like dressed like a fucking asshole or a slut or whatever you want to call it, whatever. And they're like, it's getting late. And everyone's like destroyed, but you're like, and then the funny part was that some people got there late, right when the boat was first, like just before we left, you got to jump on. And they would do their party supplies right when they got on the boat. Well, the boat party's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
When you come back, some of them people who are younger are fucking gibbled because they're like, you got to, in that situation, you got to do whatever you're going to do maybe an hour before you get there. So the boat's a short party, you kind of go with it. Right?
You're on the way down.
When you get people who are like, and then they get on the boat and then they're
pinging hard.
And they're like, party's over. You're like, what? And you get back
no.
And then when you get, what funny thing was I noticed like, when you get back to shore, it's kind of like when the lights come out the bar.
And it was like August too, so it was still like daylight out too.
Yeah, it was like the summer. So yeah, so when you get back to the port, it's like when the lights come on. You get back on solid ground, everyone's leaving. You're like, whoa! And I can imagine. We were taking the bus home. It was fine, whatever. But you can see people just fucking like sideways, right? I'm like, that person just now is like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Unless they pre-planned. But then we start walking back. We had to walk downtown to get to the bus to get home. And just like people are like, we don't know what we're gonna do. And they're just like raging because it's like the party wasn't long.
Yeah, they're 11 p.m. fucked up at 6:30.
And when you're that boat though, dude, I don't know what it was called. It should be called Call It Quits.
Do you know Last Podcast on the Left?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
they're doing one about the Essex, which is like it's a whaling ship, and it's like it kept because it's sort of like shareholders now like, oh, I can do one more trip, and it just got wrecked by this whale. Similar sort of thing. It's like this boat's going out there, it's like, we can do one more booze cruise on it, and then like tragedy, like the toilets break down, and then like it's like, oh no, we shouldn't. Well, we lost some money on that one. Like,
dude, the floor was soft in more places than I wanted to know.
That's scary.
Like you step, you're like, whoop. You're like,
I would have loved to have gone because it would have been a riot.
Dope. It was fucking awesome. but it was also like, I wasn't wrecked, so I also like pay attention, but I wasn't like destroyed, but I was like, man, this boat's kind of fucking rickety. I'm like, huh. And like also the stairs are like,
oh yeah,
people are blackout, and you're like, these stairs,
someone's gonna die.
It's like a ladder. It's like a fucking ladder. But it's cool. It was a cool boat. But yeah, ski tour was great, and they like you said, it was like the age group. You have anomalies top and bottom. Yeah,
but it's all people who like generally know the boys from like
whatever,
the industry or whatever.
Have you ever been to the Swedish after ski?
Not since Longhorn.
Right.
I went past it once at Cinnamon Bear, and I went, I don't want to do that.
It's a fucking
it's next level, man.
Party.
Yeah.
Like it's like they got the air cannons going off.
Yeah.
I mean, Longhorn goes over next level.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. I heard there's $19 beer night there tonight. We should go check it out.
Dude, don't fucking even start with this. My last podcast, I was talking to my buddy Tyler, and I was like, dude, they advertise like $23 pitchers as like they advertise that price. I'm like, sure, it's probably cheaper than what it normally is, right? But that's a horrible price for a pitcher to be advertising. Just don't advertise. Go, this booth. Yeah. No one's people aren't coming there because the pitcher $23. It's Swedish after ski. The place is bumping. It's going. You're gonna get fucking blackout. You're gonna spend a bunch of money. The idea that you're gonna try to promote a $23 pitcher, where you're gonna spend $11 on a pint of fucking like that lager.
Après lager. Oh god.
$11 for a pint, dude.
Yeah. I was telling the kids at work.
I have lots of friends who work for those guys. I love it, but I'd say this is my second time around. Fucking eat it.
Yeah, I was telling these kids about the Merlin's $5 burgers, $10 pitchers, and their mouths were their jaws were on the floor.
Yeah, and I get that. That'll never happen again. I get there's a you grew up in
yeah.
Yeah, $5 burger and beer.
They're like, yeah,
that was fucking good,
and it wasn't even bad burger.
I mean, I used to work for Sean, and Sean, the guy, he's like, yeah, the burgers we buy a different burger for that night. It's like a different, like it's the one you get on the day menu is different.
Oh, okay.
It's still not shit. It's just that one they have that's that's $15 is a different burger than they gave you. What do they call them? Ryan Newton calls them brain burgers because they look like growing up brain inside. And so, it was $5 a burger. And
it was, and like I'd say, I remember the outrage of $12 pitchers.
Right.
Like, what? $12 pitchers? A beer at my bar costs $10.07 with tax now.
Right.
A beer.
Where? Oh yeah.
Chelsea.
Right. How much is a pint of? How much is a pitcher of beer? $30.
About, I think with tax is like 32 something.
And how much is one like if I haven't bought a pitcher in a while?
No, I don't pay a lot of attention to prices, but
if you went to like Stinky's on the Stroll.
Last week, Stinky was asking me about prices randomly.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably maybe $25.
Yeah, he does all right. I actually don't think he does pitchers now. I think I've never seen him do a pitcher.
I just think what I saw with that Swedish Apres and the advertisement on Instagram was like the drink special prices.
Yeah,
like, that's not.
Yeah,
it's cheaper than what it normally is for sure. But don't talk about it.
I will say the Garibaldi Lift Company is probably the cheapest of Longhorns, Blacks.
I get where it is. I get where it is.
Its location is the thing. But
I don't care. I'm not going to buy a beer from that place. But if you want to charge that much, go ahead. But to advertise the price, I don't think it's outrageous. I mean, and I should just stop beating this horse because it's not worth it. But man, I'm like but I want to go there.
Yeah, I would love to go and
put
like
Fireball in my pocket.
I was going to say, I would outsource my alcoholism.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm a supplier. I'm on my own. Yeah, that's funny. I can check the time on this thing. How much beer do you have left?
About that much. This might be perfect timing.
We were an hour 30.
Oh, we did it.
It is fucking insane. Like, it happens every time. I'll talk about it a lot. I love talking. I love talking to people, and people like you are good people to talk to. And just like, it might not have been what we thought about. We talked about alcohol a lot and parties and stuff like that, and partying, but it's kind of what you know and what I'm into and stuff. So, but an hour and a half later, you're like, what? Like you look back, what did we talk about? It's like nothing offside, nothing crazy, but like,
it's easy. It's like
goes by quick.
Yeah, it's like when you have friends in town, you go like you spend 4 hours talking shit again, just like
it's weird,
11 years ago, last time you saw him, kind of thing.
Because an hour and a half, otherwise, you can get a lot done.
Yeah,
you can fucking ton of stuff done in an hour and a half, right? You can get to Vancouver.
Oh my god,
you know
I didn't even think about that.
You can get to Vancouver, and in the time it takes to have you can get to Vancouver.
That's your new angle. You just put this up in the back seat. And you just drive.
Copy Seinfeld or something, Yeah, oh, man, it doesn't... Everyone's what's your podcast about? We talk about it. I'm like, look, I don't care what it's about. I'll just hang out, chat with a friend for a while and just talk shit, catch up, whatever.
Who knows? That's kind of the... Because I wonder if it was like, maybe I should look into like some news stories or whatever. But I was like, no, I feel like we just kind of talked shit and then we just stopped talking shit for a while. Like, you know, like...
I have this thing I think I want to bring up. I was like... And I want to talk about things I think are absurd. Like, we don't bite our fingers enough by accident in our lifetime for how much our fingers are close by our face.
Oh, yeah.
You eat food. I'm 44. 44 years on this planet. I've eaten a lot of food, wings, everything else. Fingers right by my mouth, right? Fork, knives. How often do you bite a fork or a knife? Like maybe
too hard. Yeah.
Once or twice in your life.
Yeah.
Like, and how often do you bite your fingers? Like not even half a dozen times in your life.
I've definitely done it more than once, but not a lot.
Well, yeah,
because we do go, oh my god, like
it's not even enough to even calculate the amount of times.
Yeah,
or even to forget it's been a lot. Like, there's no way you bite your fingers more than 5 times in your life. I will, if we could find a way to go back in time. I will guarantee you, I'll give you this island from my kitchen if I'm wrong. I don't know how you're gonna get out here, but you can have it if you want. There's no way you bit your fingers more than like, it's no, but. It's always, but you stub your toe frequently.
All the time.
I know it's not, I know toe to couch is not body to body. It's not finger to mouth. It's a weird thing to say, but like that kind of shit, I could bring that up on the podcast, talk about but it's like this goofy shit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no one bites their fingers more. Like even as a baby, you might bite them, but not enough where you start crying.
Yeah.
But to bite it, we're like, oh, that's, even biting your lip, it's maybe 20,
I do that
maybe 20 times in your lifetime.
I do that all the time.
But it's not once a year. It's not once a year, is it?
It's probably about
Really?
Oh my god,
you're an aggressive eater.
I also shoving food. Well, because I'm also used to like, hey, there's nachos in the back. Holy shit! Like, get as much of this into you as you can. Yeah, but we don't get breaks. You know, like
but you're not. I don't believe anybody's biting they're biting their lip more than their fingers.
Not regularly. Sure. Like definitely,
it might once a year. Not even.
My other one is this is like related but not. But I know I snore like a grizzly bear.
Oh, yeah, right.
And whenever Annie stays over, I make sure, like, I wake up and I have like blood blisters on the inside of my cheek because I know I snore. So I make sure I keep my mouth shut. But then to do that, I have to like bite down. But I put my because I know
there's things you can do for that. So I tape myself sleeping one night. I snore a bunch. I'm getting better at it because you can train yourself to keep your mouth shut. You're a mouth breather when you sleep, for sure.
Yeah. I have a snore guard now.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Does it work?
Yeah. Oh my god, game changer.
Like, do you feel like better rested?
My sleep is better for sure. Yeah,
it's cool because I'm curious because like I was like, my dad had sleep apnea. He's a fat guy, loved fucking poutine, beer, and everything else.
Yeah,
which we all do, I think, except for beer tastes gross. We drink it because it tastes gross. But like, you get like you just even if you just have a little bit of tape mouth shut, or like you can get like a headband and put it on your mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been trying that, and I don't think my sleep's getting any better. So I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. But
so the one I have is like, it's like a mouth guard.
Prescribed?
Yeah, no, it's my girlfriend got it for me Christmas, but I asked her for it.
Okay, cool.
And it's got like the the mold stuff and whatever. It gets like up to about here, and then like the first few like up to here of a teeth, and then so you put it in hot water, melt it,
mold it, like a mouth guard.
But it also has a hole here.
So you can breathe.
The only thing is that I drool as well. Like I drool.
It would make you, like
your mouth gets dry and then you drool. It's a whole thing. But she notices that she wears earplugs anyway. She's like, but not for you now.
Just in general.
Because
you get used to
like,
things,
yeah, she lives like central Vancouver, so she hears. She lives like near 2 hospitals,
right?
So she's hearing ambulances,
hearing
all night,
death
whatever.
all day,
pretty much. Yeah. So she's like. She notices it. I notice that I feel better. Actually, when I'm drunk, I don't put it in. I wake up and I snore like a fucking animal when I'm drunk.
And you have fucking pasty mouth. That's why you gotta drink sparkling water.
Yeah. Soda water.
Yeah, because like I'm curious about that because like the mouth guard thing. I've listened to other podcasts about sleep and stuff and how it can help, and I have heard of just like it's the idea of mouth breathing, and if you can retrain yourself, if you learn to breathe through your nose through like forceful measures, whether it's like keeping your mouth shut, whatever it is, then your body just adapts. I'm sure it takes a long time. But it's good to know the mouth guard works. I gotta try one.
I'll send you.
Send me a link or something.
A link. Yeah, I'll send you a picture of the. I know where the.
Like I thought it would have been like described, but I have one prescribed because I have one from when I smashed my face.
Yeah.
I had my dentist make me a top and bottom mouth guard, so when I go mountain biking and stuff. I had a breathe hole in the middle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a corrective thing. It was like protection.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So this one kind of, it doesn't pull your jaw.
Because the main thing is like, depress your tongue on purpose?
No. This one doesn't do that. This is just like, it pulls your jaw forward a little bit.
Okay.
It's not the point of it, but like it's just the way that it sits. And then, just because that right away, because when you fall asleep.
Because I thought there was things between like your tongue falling back and like your tongue relaxes at night. There's also like, if you're a fat guy, you're not a fat guy, obviously, but like fat guys, you have like the throat.
Yeah.
Or like you're a muscle bound guy, everything else. But like, I'm neither of those. And I'm trying to figure out. I don't know anybody who else does that stuff. Only person I know. Personally.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's one of those things. I'm like, look, I know I snore to the point that like I don't like.
Living solo, I can fucking saw logs. Who cares?
Oh yeah,
but I don't want to. I want to make sure I fix it.
When she stays over, like every so often, Now I live in a studio. Like if this is the bed, the couch is basically where the camera is.
So you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, she's just like, hey, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch. I'm like, oh, it's that bad.
6 feet away.
Yeah, she's just enough that I'm not right next to her.
you roll over.
And I'm like, but I want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and I'll have this thing, and like I wear it all the time, and
it's better than getting that fucking.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, the CPAP thing scares the shit out of me.
I would love to know. I would love to know how I'm being sleep deprived. I want to try one. I want to go to sleep clinic. Like, hey, like
I did. So, my dentist. I haven't been in since pre-COVID, but that's my point. They have a sleep clinic next to them.
In Whistler?
Yeah. It's right opposite Furniture Warehouse.
Okay, cool.
And they said, hey, you wear this thing, and it goes around your chest, and it
measures your heart rate.
Yeah, measures everything. Yeah, and then COVID happened, and I don't know what happened with the results. So,
because who told me that? My buddy Mike had this done, and he said he went, got the thing, put it on. They said it's 2 weeks to get results back.
Yeah, so it didn't. I never got my results
2 years
back.
now, almost.
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah. So I should be like, hey, while you're fixing my broken teeth, what if you told me about? Because I'm sure, like, they might be like, yeah, you have apnea, whatever, and I'm like, okay, well then that's a whole other thing, and.
Because my jaw shape changed when I got hurt, dislocated it, and my face got rebuilt, so it locks and snaps a lot. And I think it might have affected the way because I even like, it's going to sound lame, but I used to be in a punk band as a kid. I could sing okay, whatever else. But now the position of my jaw is different. So by like trying to hit different notes. So I assume that my sleep is being affected by it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I try to be a nose breather as much as possible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck.
Well, Aaron,
we're way over time.
No, dude, we're fine. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Anytime. Literally anytime.
I really appreciate it. It's cool. I'm glad I reached out because I was like, oh, I got to talk to Aaron again. 'Cause I know we talked about it a while ago.
Yeah.
And you were talking about moving to Pembroke and stuff and that kind of like the trajectory of like living in here and moving away and what it's like to do that. We don't really get into that much, but yeah, man, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah,
we'll do it again for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
a couple years from now or
Awesome.
a couple weeks from now. And if you ever have something you want to talk about, you can just hit me up. I have no problem. Come on anytime.
Okay.
My 4 or 5 listeners will be stoked to hear what you have to say.
Hey, 4 or 5 more than I got.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. I don't know. You can plug if you wanted Instagram. Do you care what people think about you? Like Air out there?
Yeah, I'm the Air out there _, in between the
Sure.
AAR. But
cool.
yeah, other than that, I got a kids book coming out at some point.
Nice.
That's
go to the GLC in Worcester.
Go to the GLC
before
and
7 p.m.
Yeah, wave me at the bar
and you know what? Take a bit of cash, pay your bill, and tip them in cash.
Yeah,
Good, please.
I always say Vail doesn't accept cash, but I sure as fuck
stupid.
do.
It's so dumb.
It's we've had people been like, I only have cash. I'm like, well then I
A
don't
lot
know
of
what to do
Americans
now.
Americans
Yeah.
love cash.
I say I accept all forms of cash for tips. You can tip me 0% on the credit card bill, and if you want to give me physical,
Yeah, please
physical
do that.
dollars,
I would say please do that, right?
because that just means that I don't have to worry about it. And
it's insane that tipping everybody else, the whole not taking cash thing. We're going down a fucking dicey road.
I hear you.
Anyway, cool, man. Awesome, great, for sure. Cool.